This Channing Crowder, greatest Dolphins, who rock up 52. Solana, one best of Miami, the voice of FIU. We reppin' to Miami, the Heat and the Panthers too. We reppin' for the Marlins, the Dolphins, that's how we do. We reppin' for the Crips, so it's always about the U. Hey Jimmy, please get a bell on the phone and tell him that it's on. I finally got his name on the song. Can't do it wrong, cause it sounds so sweet. You speak the fast while I keep the crowd on their feet. Football season be the reason that I be bringing this heat. Georgia music representing 104.3. Hey,
live from the Play Show, yet not overly ostentatious studios of 104.3 FM WQAM. It's Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelb is in once again for Mark Hochman. Jimmy back at the shop in our Miami-based studios, and we got an action-packed show for you today. Coming up 25 minutes from now, a man that won a championship with the Miami Heat in 2006. Antoine Walker is going to join us coming up at 4:25 p.m. Tim Hardaway Sr., Heat legend, is going to stop by. And oh yeah, by the way, his son, Tim Hardaway Jr., did sign with the Miami Heat yesterday to kick off free agency. So you got Giannis coming to Miami. You got Andrew Wiggins staying in Miami. There's LeBron speculation. Norman Powell, screw him, F him, he's out, right? As Crowder would say the other day, he's off to the Chicago Bulls. So Hawk will have someone to cheer about this year when he watches his decrepit basketball team. But let's start with the Heat. Instant reaction to Tim Hardaway Jr. signing with the team.
I love it. Old Pat's in his bag, in his 81-year-old bag. Old Pat's trying to get this thing done one more time, man, and I love it. I love the activity. I always talk about it. As long as we're moving, as long as we're a part of the conversations, different conversations, I love it, and it's looking very good for LeBron to see two bigs behind him, and now you got two shooters as well. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what LeBron's thinking. Rich Paul talked, but it's looking good.
And then also the other thing you have to factor in here, you talk about the shooting ability, because now Tim Hardaway is approaching his mid-30s, so he's not a spring chicken anymore in this game, but it's extremely encouraging to me. And I was talking to Solana as I was doing a deep dive on Tim Hardaway Jr. last night. You know, obviously knew who he was going back to Michigan and what his name and his family name does mean in this town. But to see him getting older, and he just came off a career year with the Denver Nuggets, most three-pointers made in the season, highest three-point percentage in a season, getting over that 40% threshold. That's music to my ears because, like you said, Crowder, they got Giannis, they got Bam, Wiggins is coming back. They got to fill this team, whether they get LeBron or not, with shooters. And we all know Tim Hardaway Jr., one thing and probably the only thing he can do is shoot the damn rock.
Tell me if I'm wrong, Solana. I've read this book before because I remember Shane Battier was 416. Ray Allen was 149 years old, but they could shoot that rock, and they didn't have to do a lot of things because we had the big three. I've read this book.
By the way, you just mentioning that, did you see that evil, happy smile that just went across the face of Solana? Like, you basically just tugging at his heart. And that pit bull has been locked up in the cage for 6 or 7 years. And he's ready, screw his little dog that he needs a little tougher dog, that dog that he has. Solana's getting ready to come out of that cage and just pounce because he's sick and tired of the Heat not competing for a championship again.
What you got, Cujo?
I mean, Celtics in 24, Knicks in 26. Man, I needed this, bro. I needed this. My initial reaction, Gelb, was thank God when Tim Hardaway Jr. was announced that he was signing with the Heat, because over the past 24 hours or whatever, it's been 18 hours, I'm looking around at all the names that were, I'm not saying reported they'd come to Miami, but some of the names floated that would potentially take less to come to the Miami Heat. One, for example, Quentin Grimes. Just a ton of names, right, that we've talked about over the past week or so. None of those guys, are coming to Miami. None of those guys took less, by the way, in general, to go anywhere. They're all signing some pretty lucrative deals. So my first reaction was, well, thank God we got a shooter. And yeah, spacing is going to be a major issue. Not major issue, but something that needed to be resolved for this Heat team. Simone Fontecchio, you're happy to have him back on that minimum deal. But to me, Tim Hardaway Jr., Gelb just mentioned it, the season he's coming off of, the fact that he already had the Miami homecoming video ready to go, so you knew he wanted to come play here with Giannis Antetokounmpo, where his dad's number is retired. I mean, I saw this dude play in high school. Literally, I saw him at Palmetto play in high school several games. And to know that, A, he's a high school legend in Miami, grew up here, and he's going to suit up for the Miami Heat is just an awesome story.
I have breaking news. Breaking news. It does not have to do with the Miami Heat. But we talked about, right, how Brady Tkachuk came to the Florida Panthers, and then you also saw Giannis Antetokounmpo come to the Miami Heat.
Oh,
well,
man.
Yesterday, Kawhi Leonard, gets traded to the Toronto Raptors. According to Pierre LeBrun, it's a 3-year, $7 million a year contract, I'm assuming, for Sergei Bobrovsky in Toronto.
Yeah.
So the Bob era, and they made the 2 moves for the goaltenders in the last few days, the Florida Panthers. This was inevitable, but we bid adieu to Sergei Bobrovsky as he's off to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Listen, Bob, go do your thing. Bob gave us some great years. I have no problem with Bob leaving. Bob really brought us some damn good hockey.
Only $7 million a year, though.
Right. I mean,
I thought it would have been more for him to leave. Like, I get it. They made the aggressive moves, the Panthers. They're basically saying, we're going to put an all-star team out there, and we'll figure it out with the goaltender, just like what the Avalanche did in 2022. I know this past year, Anderson had a really good first 2 rounds, but then he got replaced in the Stanley Cup final. This is Bill Zito and company just saying, hey, guys, we're good with whoever's in net. We just need average goaltender play. They got the best team in the league on the ice if you just get average goaltender play.
And I believe in relationship equity. Bill Zito has some of the most equity in my mind of anybody that I know, because what he's done with this Panthers team. Remember, the Patriots get rid of Tom Brady early. He goes and wins another championship. But they thought it was the end. If Bill Zito believes I don't need to pay this man $7, I don't want to give him $7, Gab. I'm on Will Weedo's side.
Well, there is a better analogy there. You mentioned the Patriots with Brady. How about the Patriots with everybody else while they had Brady and all the guys that they let go? Willie McGinnis, Ty Law. You could just go on and on and on. All the players they let walk out. Like, Bill Zito gets the benefit of the doubt. The Florida Panthers, this takes nothing away from the high expectations with the Miami Hurricanes. It takes nothing away from Solana and what he's going to envision with the Miami Heat. The Florida Panthers this year, out of all the South Florida sports teams, have the best chance to win a championship. It doesn't mean the other teams can't, but they have the best chance with Bob or without Bob. And even Eddie Olczyk said it when he joined us right when the Brady Tkachuk news came out. With or without Bob, they should be the favorite in the Eastern Conference that even has the reigning Stanley Cup champion Carolina Hurricanes to get to the Stanley Cup final.
What's the guy's name they just got? Lostarinen?
Well, Eetu Lostarinen is back.
He's back.
The Panthers signed him. But Markstrom is the goalie that they're
Who started
bringing back.
his career here.
You did.
Yeah, he came back, and then they got Brady Tkachuk, got Matt Tkachuk. Yes, Barkey's coming back off the injury. Come on, man. We rolling this year.
Yeah, I'm not really too concerned, but Solana, you are right. Like, I get it. It's going to be a big drop-off with not having Bob in net, and they just got to be average, but they couldn't find a way to make the numbers work on only I know it's hockey, it's different, but a top goaltender gets paid $11, $12, $13 million a year. $7 million a year. You couldn't find that to work for Bobrovsky, but 3 years is a lot of years with a goaltender in his late 30s.
Yeah, I'm really interested, to know like what happened behind the scenes between Bob and the Panthers, because I was expecting when they ended up pivoting elsewhere, I was expecting him to get something along the lines of an 8.5, 9.5 average annual value.
I thought maybe 2 for 20.
Yeah, I mean, I would understand why the Panthers are looking at their roster saying, all right, let's move elsewhere because we're just not going to be able to make that work. And by the way, I don't think it's a massive drop-off from Bobrovsky to Markstrom. And I don't mean that as an indictment on Sergei Bobrovsky, but he wasn't the same guy last year. And yes, injuries played a factor in that. I'd be an idiot to just write that off. But he clearly wasn't the same guy. I don't think he was worth $9 million average annual value, but to see him go to Toronto, like had he gone, I don't know, to Washington, had he gone to Nashville, like whatever, man, go get paid. But to see him go to Toronto for, I think, only 1 or 2 million more.
Yeah, but those bums
year.
can't win anything in Toronto. They bring in all these great players year in, year out, and it's heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. And by the way, Markstrom last year had a bad year. So they're banking on him not being as bad as what he was with the Devils a year ago or the second half of the season. That team, there are bad teams in there what the Devils were in the second half of the season.
And I always bring this up about, I thought about it because you said the internal conversations. What about the internal knowledge? Paul Maurice was around Bob every single day for the last, 4 years? Bill Zito saw him every single day for the last 4 years. They know more about it. Nobody knows in Atlanta radio that Jimmy goes to sleep every day. Nobody knows Solana wears, nut hugger pants. They don't know that. We know that internally. So they know more about this situation, and I trust them with it.
The other thing, too, I will compare this to LeBron. LeBron was going to have to take less to stay with the Lakers. And LeBron was like, I'm here. You're not making me take less to stay. I'll say I'm breaking up with you and I know I'm going to have to take less. I'll go take less with somebody else. It seems like that's from afar what happened here with Bob and the Panthers. The Panthers pivoted just like how the Lakers quickly gave that deal to Reeves. The Panthers made the move to go get Brady Tkachuk to team him up with his brother, brother Matthew. And then it was like, okay, you're going to have to take less to stay. And I think Bob was like, I just won 2 cups for you. Yeah, I'm not taking less to stay. I'll go elsewhere and take less elsewhere just out of principle.
Yeah. It ends up being, you get Markstrom 2 years, $6 million a year. Bob clearly looking for that extra year, in my opinion, Gelby. And he's only getting $1 million more per year, but he gets the extra year in net as well. So maybe that could have been kind of like the determining factor where the Panthers weren't willing to give him that third year, because the reality is at 38 years old, I mean, this is a guy getting his final big contract in the NHL.
And I'm not saying it came down to this, but if the choice was to have Brady Tkachuk on this roster or Bobrovsky, you would be a fool to say not Brady Tkachuk, because he's 26 years old and he is a great player in this league. Nothing against Bob, but at 38, I'm not paying a contract for what you did in the past. I'm paying for what you are in the future. And sometimes you have to make those difficult decisions with franchise legends. And that's what Bob was here. He's a franchise legend because of what they won here with him in net.
The first Stanley Cup, I'm watching the post game when they're skating around. Brady Tkachuk is taller than half the team, and they have skates on. I want this monster on my side. I'm not going to lie. And he just looks mean. Man, we're going to be some bad sons of guns on that ice this year.
You know what's funny?
The aura of the 2 Tkachuks, too, is like the Panthers were arguably the most hated team in the NHL already because of Matthew Tkachuk. Now you're adding Brady Tkachuk to this team. Like, the Panthers are going to be the biggest villain in the NHL for the next 3-4 seasons.
If I start with Matt, I know guaranteed his brother's coming and busting me in the back of the head. If I start with Brady, I know this crazy little one's headed this way. Nobody wants to deal with that on a nightly basis.
It's funny to me. Like, if you would have asked me 3 weeks ago, hey, the Heat are going to get Giannis and the Panthers are going to get Brady Tkachuk, which jersey would Crowder most likely get? I would say Giannis. I don't even think it's close. I think you're getting a Brady Tkachuk jersey over a Giannis Antetokounmpo jersey.
You know what? I just started getting jerseys because I had to get a Ruben Bain Buccaneer jersey. So I had to get that. I haven't got a bad admission. 3 Stanley Cups appearances, 2 Stanley Cups. I haven't bought a Panther jersey and all that success. I'm going to get me a Brady Tkachuk jersey. Because I like this big old son of a gun.
If my guy Vinny Viola's listening and we are the home of the Florida Panthers, Channing Crowder needs a Brady Tkachuk jersey. What the puck? Go get him a Brady Tkachuk jersey.
I think that's what Crowder has been waiting for. Me too, by the way. I was on a bit of a holdout to see if the Panthers would hook us up. The reality, though, Gelb, I mean, the Panthers are constantly hooking us up. I think those jerseys are a little too pricey to be handing out for free. Just a little too pricey.
It's like a drop in the bucket for Vinny Viola. It will be. It won't even matter to him if he gets Channing Crowder or Brady Tkachuk. I didn't ask for Solana, Hawk, and Jimmy to get jerseys. Just one double XL sweater for Channing Crowder with the Kachuk jersey.
I stopped by the gas station this morning, and they have the little empanada stand and the little tables. And somebody left 2 untouched empanadas there, and I was on the verge of just grabbing one because they were free. Nobody was sitting there; it was empty.
You're
I was going to grab me
a professional athlete. You are a podcast and radio star. Once again, I will say there's a C in Channing, a C in Crowder, and a C in Cheap. You are El Cheapo.
I saw a free empanada.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Crowder. That's a heady play by you, man. Free empanadas, that's better than paying for empanadas.
When Solana's agreeing with you, that's when I know I'm right.
And then I'll jump on. I've been doing this for 10 years. I'll jump on and we'll start arguing together. And then he goes on these rants, and I just totally regret it every time.
All righty, Antoine Walker coming up at 2:25. Let's get some quick headlines in with Alejandro Solana.
It's not the only Panthers news, by the way, because we mentioned Eetu Luostarinen is coming back on a great deal, in my opinion. Plus, Radko Gudas, the Butcher, is officially signed back with the Panthers as well. Your headlines, they're brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. Home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit us at Doral Volkswagen or at DoralVolkswagen.com. The Heat did have to use part of their mid-level exception to sign Tim Hardaway Jr., so it ends up being a 1-year, $6.5 million contract for Timmy Jr. That means there's only $5 million or so, maybe a little bit more, of that mid-level exception left, which is what we all assumed Miami would be doing to add LeBron James to this team. So going to be very interesting. There's a lot of conversation about where LeBron's going. I don't know about you guys, but from what I've seen most reported, it still feels like the Heat, the Cavaliers, and the Warriors, however you want to kind of shuffle those three in terms of the favorite, those still appear to be the 3 teams that are most in play for LeBron.
And I see the 3 dark horse options. The Spurs that I mentioned yesterday. I saw Windhorse throwing out the Denver Nuggets. And then I also did see a little Minnesota Timberwolves. Imagine LeVar Ball watching his son LaMelo Ball play with Anthony Edwards, and then LeVar going after LeBron James. Anytime he misses a bucket, he'll be like, that old head needs to retire. That would be something.
Isn't this the time, if we're ever going to spend money? I'm spending Mickey's money now, so I don't care. It's not mine. To go into the aprons and all that stuff, Solana, like you have LeBron for 1 more year, go spend some of your own money.
And then you get out of it.
But cap restraints and the way that the aprons work, you can't just say, oh, we're going to be in the apron. It doesn't work that way. Mm-hmm. The way that the cap rules work, like when they trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo and that becomes official, that actually limits you, because you're going to be over the cap, to spend certain amount of money. So like, it's not as simple as, hey, NBA, we want to be in the second apron this year and tax the hell out of us. It actually restricts you going from the first apron to the second apron, depending on how your transactions end up working out.
But I saw Sham say today that LeBron James will take the veteran minimum, so it doesn't even matter, right? We all believe that, right?
I'm not buying that for a second, man.
Yeah,
I'm not buying that for a second.
Send LeBron a briefcase full of cash, man. Just somebody was getting business deals.
You could endorse this tree company that I'm starting. We're calling it Aspiration 2.0.
By the way, I have to mention the Miami Marlins because they're on a tear. They were the hottest team in June. They capped off June with a 14-run victory over the Colorado Rockies. They beat them 14-3 yesterday. They've scored a combined 24 runs over their last 2 games against the Rockies, who stink. They're going to play them again tonight, 8:40 p.m. They'll play them again tomorrow to wrap up that series at 3:10 p.m. And a bunch of other NBA news happening, signings all over the place. A couple names that I think are important to mention. Mike Conley is going to sign with the Boston Celtics. Niko Vucevic is going back to the Orlando Magic on a 1-year deal as well. I'll get to all that coming up later on.
Big Country leaving the Knicks to go to the Celtics.
Big Country going to the Celtics, and the Lakers have literally sent every draft asset they have for the next 7 years away. They get Walker Kessler. They're building that team around Luka Doncic. Your weather in South Florida right now, it's 93 degrees. Tonight, the lows are going to drop into the mid to upper 70s. That's brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, helping homeowners stay safe this storm season. Visit tornadoroofing.com for a free roof and window estimate.
Antoine Walker won a championship with the Miami Heat in 2006. We'll get his thoughts on Giannis Antetokounmpo coming here. Could LeBron be joining? We'll chat it up with Antoine Walker next. It's Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelb in for Hawk on this Wednesday.
Don't forget about your garage doors. If they're outdated, damaged, or not hurricane ready, don't wait. You got to call Allied Doors today. It's hurricane season now. Don't get caught off guard with a house that's not protected, and you can also upgrade that home with Allied Doors. Serving South Florida since 1966. 60 years of trusted family-owned service. They know what they're doing. And if I'm talking about you, I'm sorry. If I'm talking about your neighbors, you know who it is. Don't have that beautiful home, nice yard, and those terrible garage doors. Called Allied Doors today. Huge in-stock inventory, same-day service, custom impact-rated doors that are built to protect and upgrade your home fast. And the LiftMaster openers, it doesn't take a minute to open a garage anymore. They're not loud and obnoxious. They are the best. They're built to perform. Check out these LiftMasters. I love them. We use them on our personal home. My wife uses them on investment properties. Call Allied Doors. I'm telling you, protect and upgrade. That's all you want to do to your house. Give Allied Doors a call today, 954-942-8550. That's 954-942-8550, or visit allied-doors.com. Mention this ad. We're going to watch out for you. $300 off when you mention this ad at Allied Doors. Don't wait. Let's protect and upgrade all the homes out there, all our homes out there. Called Allied Doors today.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Yeah, what did you think about shaving your ass?
Hey, Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy. You got me in queue? Nope, he does not.
Is here. Join us at Fan Zone 305 at the casino.
Yeah.
11th. What? Enjoy food trucks,
So
family
we're
fun,
hoping
and more. Free
Antoine
admission, free
joins us
parking, and all
on
ages
stream.
are welcome. Visit
If he ends up jumping into
CasinoDanaBeach.com.
the
The
stream,
Summer of Jeep is happening right now at Kendall Dodge
It-
Chrysler Jeep Ram. Lease
we're
a
about a minute
2026
out.
Jeep Grand Cherokee
Hasn't
Loretto.
built
Just
it.
$373 a month for a
Just go ahead and
2026
call
Jeep
him.
Gladiator Sport 4x4.
Okay.
All right.
Any
Thank you.
offer. Kendall Dodge Chrysler Jeep
Keep an
Ram.
eye on. Just keep an eye on this over here.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have it on queue.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, there you go.
Dale.
Hey, Antoine, how's it going, man?
What's up, my brother? How you doing?
I'm good. You hear me okay?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yeah, you sound great.
All right, good.
Awesome. We're just in a quick commercial break. We should be back in about 3 minutes. Is that cool?
That's cool. Perfect.
Awesome, man. Yeah, you're going to be joining Zach Gelb, who's up there, and Channing Crowder is our other co-host. I'm Alejandro. And we're based here in Miami, okay?
Are y'all in Miami?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, man. I'm going to put you behind the scenes. I'll bring you up in about 3 minutes, okay? Shouldn't be too long.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. No problem.
Alrighty, welcome back in. It is Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelb in for Hawk on this Wednesday. Antoine Walker won an NBA championship with your Miami Heat back in 2006, and he joins us on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, toyotaofhollywood.com. Antoine, appreciate the time as always. How you been, my man?
I've been good, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. So let me start you off with Giannis, because I know last time we talked, there was a lot of speculation. Would it be Boston? Would it be Miami? When Pat made the move to bring in another star to Miami and kind of jumpstart this Heat team once again, what was that initial reaction?
I mean, I loved it. I think, they was in a situation where they probably wasn't going to be able to get a free agent in free agency the way the cap is set up now and guys signing back with their own team. So they wasn't going to be able to actually really get anybody. So to be able to get Giannis, I think he still has a couple years left. I know people are a little concerned because he hasn't played a lot of games last couple years. His durability is probably a question a little bit. But I'll take a shot at him his last 2 years. I mean, he's still playing at a really, really high level. I think it's a great move by the Heat.
And Antoine, how does that look with two bigs? Because they both try to shoot threes. Bam had a good 3-point shooting game, season last year. But with them two guys that finished at the rim, how are they going to manipulate that where they're not getting in each other's way?
It's going to be tough. It's going to take some adjustment for them to play. I think it's going to be hard, probably harder for Bam, because Giannis is a one-on-one guy that needs spaces on the floor. So Bam is going to probably become even a more 3-point shooter, as crazy as that sound, because Giannis needs space. I mean, he's a great one-on-one player. But I think one thing we got to remember, Giannis requires double teams. If he gets going, you're going to have to double team him, and that's when he got to make passes and be a great playmaker for the team. But that's something you try to figure out, man. You figure two guys are all-stars. You figure, hey, man, if I get an opportunity, you guys got to figure that out. You can't just nitpick everything. But that is some concern. I see where you can see that could be a problem.
Now we know, as Antoine Walker is here with us, the Giannis domino did fall, and everyone's waiting to see what's next. The big rumor is LeBron James not coming back to the Lakers. The Heat get thrown into the mix. Could he be going back home to Cleveland? Could he be going out to the Bay Area? Do you think there's a chance? Can you see maybe LeBron looking at Giannis and Bam and saying, you know what? I'll take my talents back to South Beach.
Man, LeBron could probably go play anywhere. How much money he want? That's the thing. How much money
They're
does he
saying
want?
the veteran minimum. I'll believe it when I see it, though.
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, that's the same thing I'm saying. If he's going to play for the veteran minimum, then that's a different story. Now, about 15, 20 teams come into play if that's the case, if he's going to play for that. But if you start talking about $45 to $60 million for 1 year, I mean, he's going to handicap himself on where he can actually go and be effective and put a good team around him. I don't necessarily, I like him with anybody. I mean, it's LeBron James. It's hard for me to say I don't like him with somebody because he's so good and I know he can make an adjustments and play with anybody. I would love to see him with talent, though. I don't want to see him with a bunch of young guys trying to figure it out. I want to see him with the guys that been there, that know how to play. So if the Miami Heat situation, which is still incomplete, even with Giannis, they got a lot to fill in that roster still right now. So I hope LeBron brings the axe down. I don't know. You guys, I can't see him playing for the league minimum, but maybe you guys know something I don't know.
I was going to say, Antoine, I don't know how basketball players do it, but football players, man, we ain't taking a dime less than we can take. I'm going to take a $40 million cut. You can get out of here with that.
I don't think he's going to do it anyway. I just think that's too far. You start talking maybe 25, 30 million for 1 year. You get somewhere in that number. Now he gives up maybe 15 to 20 million, even though that's still a big number. Maybe he may do it if he feel like he can win a title, and that's joining a team that's really, really good. But it's going to be hard to talk him to taking the league minimum, man. I don't know if it's going to be able to happen.
And once again, I don't know how the salaries will all work out. All I know is Giannis is coming to Miami. Bam is here in Miami. You also have Andrew Wiggins staying in Miami. They just signed Tim Hardaway Jr. the other day. Like, there is a need for LeBron in Miami because he's someone that could control that backcourt and the ball will be in his hand a lot.
Oh, without question. I mean, obviously they get him, they become a top 3 contender in the East, if not the number 1 contender in the East. When you think about Giannis and LeBron being on the same team, We know the Celtics think situation is not looking good right now, especially what's going on with Jaylen Brown and the Knicks. I mean, the Knicks still got to retool, and they already starting. As soon as you win, everybody gets the lead. Look at Mitchell Robinson now; he signs a big deal, so now you start losing pieces too. So the East is wide open if you want to make a move. So it's really up to LeBron and where he feels like he can win a title at, or get back into the mix of winning the title.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we've seen a lot of reports suggesting that it's going to come down to happiness. And then Rich Paul was talking about where he can play golf, indoor and outdoor. But I just wonder, from a player's perspective, does he have anything left to prove in terms of legacy? I mean, he's either regarded as the best player ever, the second best player, the third, however you want to rank it, right? Like, he's one of the greats of all time without question if he retired today. But does he have anything left to prove? Would a title, wherever he goes, end up helping his legacy anymore?
I mean, and Shay, you probably can agree with me to this. I mean, if you still can play, why not play? I mean, I think you only get one life, you only get one opportunity at this. So I understand him wanting to play, but it's nothing to prove. But I don't think you should be playing if he's not trying to win a title. That's what makes it fun. That's what makes you want to go to work every day. Just coming to play just to say because your body still feel good to play. I don't think LeBron should do it that way. I think if he's going to play, I want to go all out and see if I can get in the mix and win a title. And, I look at Serena Williams yesterday, man. You know what I'm saying? You think about that. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, she wants to play, but you don't need to take them L's on your legacy right now. So I just think about stuff like that. But I think if he wants to play and if it's important to him, go get with a team that's got some guys that they're in the same mind frame. The organization is trying to win, and give yourself the best chance to just continue to add on to your legacy, but play for championships.
Hey, Walt, and we got down here the same year, 05. We might have seen each other at the Little Diamonds under the bridge once or twice. And we were down here.
Might have. About my ass. That was a definite.
we might have been in there once or twice together.
Yeah.
But the thing about Miami, a great place to live, state taxes, all that stuff. But then what about dudes coming to play for Spo and Pat with that old school, weight, the percentage weights and all the stuff you got to do, the best condition, best in shape, all that stuff. Is it a knock of how the old school basketball that Pat and Spo like to do to some players, especially these young players?
Oh, without question. Obviously, I mean, I went through that when I played there. It's been every star's kind of had that problem a little bit, whether it was publicized or behind closed doors. Where they're really big on fitness and condition, which is nothing wrong with that. But they're sticklers with body fat. The thing about you get to get weighed every week. You know what I mean? It's a constant thing. And some of these, typically guys are in their best shape of their life when you play there. So that typically happens, but it can be something that people don't really like, especially young stars. They don't want to be told about body fat and weight. They want to be able to kind of control their own narrative. In Miami, you're probably not going to be able to do that. They're going to be on top of you on and off the court. And some guys need that. It's not for every guy. Like LeBron James already took care of his body. So it was an easy transition for him to go to Miami. Some guys it's a little bit harder to do. But I am going to have to agree with you. That does stop some superstars from coming.
There was a lot of question marks, even here in Miami, Antoine, about Pat Riley. If he could continue to still be at the front of the Heat organization and continue to build title contenders after they lost Jimmy over the past couple of years, even with Jimmy, weren't landing the next great whale to come here and play alongside him, even after they missed out on a couple guys. You were part of the largest trade in NBA history that Pat pulled off in 2005 when you came to Miami. 20 years later, to see him still landing a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo, are you surprised that he's still been able, in terms of longevity, to keep his career going at the front office and still make trades that kind of alter the way that the franchise is headed?
No, because he knows you need a superstar to win. You can look at Pat's history. I mean, we go back to Magic, Kareem, obviously D Wade, Alonzo Mourning. He needed superstars to win. I mean, the team I played on, there was 6 of us that was all-stars, I think, on that team. We think about me, Gary Payton, and all of us that joined the team. You got all-stars on that team. He knows you have to have superstars. He tried to do it. I think they got kind of a little stale because they had a great run with Jimmy Butler, And not to take anything away from that young team, but that young team went to the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, went to the finals as an eighth seed. So when you do stuff like that, so they went on that little run where they were developing guys and having these guys, unrestricted free agents, come in and make the team and play hard. But you got to have superstars to win this league consistently and to make deep runs. And Pat Riley understands that. And that's why he's willing to gamble and get a guy like Giannis and take a chance. And that's what they want to do. He wants to go out with a bang. Mickey trusts him and knows that he's going to make the right decisions for this organization. And that's where I think, Pat kind of stands out to some other owners and organizations that we see. I'm here in Chicago, and I wonder, the Bulls trade away Aya DeSumo and Kobe White, and they do all type of things. I see not making the commitment to winning all the time, being in Chicago with the Bulls. So to see a Pat Riley knows that, hey, I got to make a power move here and make a big play. That's what makes him great. He wants to play for championships. And think about it. We talk about LeBron James there, how much long he go, how many more years does Pat have at running the team? Pat's getting down to his last years of probably running the team. So he wants to, obviously, his legacy on the line a little bit too, even though he's on the floor and everything's stretched in there, but he wants to leave a winner too. So I like the fact that he wants to win now.
Antoine Walker here with us. So you talk about that team, how it was assembled, and you guys ended up winning a championship in 2006. But you've been on a team where you've been the star and you've been like the main attraction. That wasn't the case in Miami. The sacrifice was worth the reward, but how tough was it for guys in the locker room at the time to sacrifice and maybe not play your normal role and do less for the betterment of the team?
I think it's hard, but I think what was good for us, and it's not for every team, if you ain't never had one and you ain't never won on the big stage, that's when you get hungry. That's when you make that sacrifice. That's when you do everything. That's when you kind of watch the Knicks. Those guys ain't never won much on the guys of the Knicks, but they sacrificed. That was a sacrifice team that did all the little things to be able to win. That group had been together about 3-4 years now, the core of that group with the Knicks. So you can see that the sacrifice those guys finally made. It's about sacrifice, man. It's about knowing your role, guys accepting their role, not worrying about get 20 or 10 and 20 a night, not worry about contracts. So it's a lot that goes into winning the championship, and you can get guys to buy into that, then so be it. I think Pat Riley did a good job of putting a bunch of hungry guys that hadn't won one together. I mean, you got to think about James Posey hadn't had one. Gary Payton didn't have one. Jason Williams didn't have a championship. So you had a bunch of us that never been at played at that level, and he gave us that opportunity to do it together.
You were just down here last year for the 06 celebration, and then I saw a bunch of videos that the Heat had posted. You talking with Zoe, Shaq, D Wade was there. All the guys were kind of reminiscing about the title, but it was fun, right? Like, was that the most fun you ever had while you were in the NBA?
Oh, that was great. That was an unbelievable time. I get shots out to the Miami Heat, Pat Riley, the organization for bringing us back together while everybody was still here. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be able to, everybody's here. So that was a great 3 days together to be able to celebrate that and reminisce about the championship. But those are things that are special. I was lucky enough to win one in college too, and I'm still very close to a lot of my college teammates. But to be able to be around the NBA guys, which you guys know, pro guys don't get together after their career with. Not many. You know what I mean? Right. Everybody's off in their own world. And to be able to get everybody back together, I think 13 out of 15 of us showed up. So it was a big number of guys that showed up and got to hang out for 3 days. They gave us some cool jackets that we can always have for the rest of our life. So it was a good celebration, a good time.
Last one for me, Antoine
I wonder
Walker.
if they still trash talk, though. Because we get together, boy, it'd be 20 years later. We still talking nasty to each other.
Oh yeah, and we remember this about the season, man. Man, we had a party team. Now we talking about partying in Miami. Now we party now. I just didn't go to the strip club. Now I party now. I did a little South Beach now. So we talked about we had a great run. Now we had fun on and off the court.
You got to give us a story. What was a good? You guys got a good off the court story that maybe doesn't get you in too much trouble.
Was that Forge? Hey, Walt, was the Forge still rolling?
No, look, I caught the Forge my first year. I caught the Forge, and then my second year, they had came down and moved forward that party into the Fountain Blue. So whenever the year the Fountain Blue opened up on a Sunday night, then I started getting live, and then the Lil Wayne and what happened in New Orleans with Katrina, you had all the rappers from New Orleans moved to Miami. That's how the party started. Yeah.
long nights. We'll leave it at that.
Long night, man.
And,
I was
I'm
up.
sure Pat Riley was at all of them, right? He was at all those parties with you guys.
Oh no. He knew about him. He knew about him.
Wait, you guys were talking about flying home from a road trip, land at 4 a.m., go out party till 7, be at practice by 9.
Well, Pat had a rule that if we came in anytime after 2, the next day was off. So once we got in after 2, so Miami don't shut down to 5, 6. That's prime time.
Yes, sir.
Hey, the only messed up part about it, we had a dress code. So we used to have to wear suits on the road. So you see us in the club with suits on.
That ain't no problem.
Hey, that's the only thing about it. We coming in at 2:30, 3 o'clock. The club just popping in Miami, so you was good. That was one of the best parts about it. But yeah, we had some rules. We had a couple guys on the team. I ain't gonna name no names. They love the strip club, so we did a lot of appearances in the strip club.
That's amazing.
There might have been a corner in the back of a strip club that had a heat banner in it.
You know about it. You know about it.
Yeah, Channing was picking up the bills after you guys threw him.
Well, I tell you, no. Football and basketball money's different. So we would be in there. Then basketball comes in. That's when it's our time to go. So that money's
hold on, crowd. You appreciate this story. So one night. I got to tell this story real quick. So one night I'm out in Miami, me and Posey, regular Thursday night, we go to the club. And what's my man? Sean Merriman is in the club. Him and all his boys in the club. They're on like the 2-3 couches down from us. So we in the party. So they order 3 bottles of champagne. We order 3 bottles. It's just me and Pose. Couple girls. So now they order 6 more bottles. So we order 6 more bottles. Well, this is true story. So now they order 10 bottles. It's about 7, 8 of them. It's me and Posey and a couple girls. So they ordered 7, 8 bottles. We ordered 7, 8 bottles.
You gotta keep up.
But we ain't said nothing to each other. But it's a bottle war going on.
That's amazing.
No, true story. So look, our bill was like about $9,000-$10,000. So I said, forget it, man. We messed up. Let's just split it. But this what I did. I promise. I went to the club. I said, look, man, we was a little out of control. Can we come back and or can we take our bottles with us? So they like, nah, look, we're going to put y'all name on them. So whenever y'all come, y'all got y'all bottles. So they looked out for us, though. But this was a true story, man. We had a bottle war. I'll never forget that night. For no reason.
For no reason at
all. Just me and him and a couple people. But there's 4 people, and we trying to keep up with them. But that's what Miami was doing to me, man. Miami's something different, man.
Hey,
that's amazing.
Hey, how much you just got? How much that brick over there? Give me double.
They win 6, we win 6. It was a bottle war indirectly. I said, this is crazy. And I know you knew this when I got down there. The football players have pretty much started training there even more in the winter. I mean, it was a large group of football players living in Miami in the wintertime. Then that was like the meat and potatoes of the basketball season. They was living there working out. So we would bump into everybody in the club.
Yeah.
Last thing I got to ask you, Antoine Walker, who's been great with us. So it looked like, right, it was either going to be Boston or Miami for Giannis. It ends up being Miami. The Celtics with Jaylen Brown, he was included in those trade talks. Now there's a lot of questions if that relationship could get repaired. I saw a report today, 8 to 12 teams have had conversations with the Celtics about Jaylen. Is that relationship over in your estimation, or do you think there's still a chance Jaylen Brown can go complete his career with the Celtics?
Man, I think everybody got to understand, they have a new ownership group. This is not the same ownership group that signed them. And not saying this ownership group don't love them, but the Boston Celtics do not own their arena. So that's where the problem lies at. So you can't really pay right now. It doesn't justify them financially to pay probably 2 guys $60+ million. And they probably and they're not really saying it, but they don't have an arena. They need an arena. Think about what the Clippers owner did, Steve Ball. First thing he did when he started putting together, he went and got him an arena. So now this can make sense to pay guys big money. I think that's what the problem is with the Celtics. This ownership group, obviously, they're great businessmen. These people that buy these teams, I think it's a business decision. I don't think it's nothing to do with basketball. I think they don't want to say that, but I think it's about business and trying to get the cap and the roster at the right level that they wanted. And I think it's tough to do that. He had an unbelievable year. You can't trade him after a year like he had last year. I mean, he had an MVP. He finished in the top 5 MVP voting. And I think if he would have got it, nobody would have said anything because the team played unbelievable without Jason Tatum. They won 57, 58 games. You know what I mean? And most of that season, besides I think the last 17, 18 games, were without Jason Tatum.
So,
You know what I mean?
so is this happiness thing overblown there? Like him not being happy? Do you just kind of laugh at that?
Oh yeah, of course he's happy. I mean, it's a star. You the man. You get to shoot where you want to. You get all the ball. Everything's built around you. Why wouldn't he be happy? The community has embraced him. People love him there. So I don't see why he wouldn't be happy. I think this has turned into a business decision for the Celtics, and they're trying to figure out what's the right way to do this. They obviously, you brand a new team. You don't want to go from being one of the top teams in the East to at the bottom of the East, and it's going to cost you. In order to be at the top, you got to pay money for your roster, and it's going to be less for you up top. So it's a new ownership group. We'll see what this ownership group is willing to do. Are they willing to spend money on their roster and pay a luxury tax and all those things? We'll see if they do it. That's why I think this trade talks. But how can you even be in trade talks with a guy that top 5 in the MVP vote? So he was right to go public and talk about he's upset about having his name in trade talks. He had a monster year last year. So I understand it from where he's speaking from. But I think the Boston Celtics are operating from an ownership situation. New owners, they're looking at how we can be profitable. And I think without having your own arena, they're not going to be profitable as they need to be. And I think you have to come out some of that salary. They're paying a lot of money. Derek White makes big money as well. I mean, think about the guys they got rid of. They got rid of Holiday. He was making 30 plus million. I mean, Al Horford was making 15, 20 million. I mean, so they came off some guys that was making big money to try to make this thing work. So hopefully they get it done. I want to see those guys finish it out. I think they got one more chip in them.
He's Antoine Walker. He joins on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com. Antoine, great job as always. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, man. Thanks for having me on the show, man. Y'all keep it up.
There you go. More of Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelbin for Hawk after these short messages.
Everybody likes to celebrate greatness, and when you do it for 80 years, it is really great. I'm talking about Edmore's Sawgrass. They are celebrating 80 years over there off the Sawgrass Expressway, and with the 80 years, you know what they're going to do? They're going to watch out for you. That's why my friend Chris Atkins, the GM, you see Teddy Morris on TV all the time. They put together an amazing team, the Edmore Sawgrass Cadillac. They're commemorating this occasion by giving you special savings on luxury Cadillacs. You have to check out these all-electric Cadillacs. They figured out this all-electric stuff. You know they would. You know Cadillac would. Check out the all-electric 2026 Cadillac Optic, and that's only $349 a month. Or the all-electric 2025 Cadillac Lyrics, and you can get that for just $369 a month. They've been family-owned and operated for 80 years. They know how to take care of their customers. That's what they do. That's why we always say back by Moore's, because they got your back, your family, when you get one of these Edmore's vehicles in the 80th year anniversary savings. Go see my friends at Edmore's Sawgrass Cadillac. They're the 6-time dealer of the year, Sunrise Boulevard and the Sawgrass Expressway. You can't miss it. You'll see a beautiful lot. You're going to see a bunch of beautiful cars. Then you're going to go in there and meet wonderful people. You have to visit EdmoreSawgrassCadillac.com. And remember, being backed by Moore's is a special thing, from the trade-in to the sale to the lease. Service department, the people there. Just go get back by Morris. You'll see what I'm talking about. Click EdmoreSawgrassCadillac.com.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Tighten your ass up, Whale.
We back at it with the steady Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. 305, cafecito time, dame una colada. Got some interviews next. Always got dope guests. Get the cesspool live, dropping comments and likes. We about to get right. Talking sports, my G. Listen to Odyssey and 104.3. Live and back on GeorgiaMusic.com. Hitting it at the park like a mad murder's bomb. All power. Get ready for the 3 o'clock hour. Get ready for the 3 o'clock hour. Get ready for the 3 o'clock hour. Get ready for that 3 o'clock.
Yes, that's right. It is a 3 o'clock hour right here on Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelb for Hawk. Good conversation a few moments ago with Antoine Walker talking about the Heat getting Giannis Antetokounmpo, the LeBron James rumors that are still out there, and getting into those good old strip club stories. There's nothing better than a good strip club story. And when Crowder gets to talk with a player that they were at the same strip club, and you just get to hear the back and forth about the amount of hundreds that were just getting thrown around the room, while Solana and myself and Jimmy basically just sit here and go, yeah, we'll just take like $1,000 from one of you. We would love that.
Yeah, well, we just knew you got to strategize, Gilby. Basketball players, they come, like you said, around 3 a.m. So you go about 1, then you see the 7-foot guys walk in, and that's about time to leave. Go home and get some rest because there's nothing else going on in your area when the basketball guys are in there.
And Tim Hardaway Sr. is going to stop by at 4:25 p.m. Heat legend has the number retired in the rafters. His son, Tim Hardaway Jr., did sign with the Heat to tip off NBA free agency that did commence yesterday evening at 6 p.m. I do have 2 LeBron James nuggets that I'll get to right now, and we could discuss both of them. So if you're trying to make the case that LeBron to the Heat could potentially happen, there's also been a team out there, the Warriors, where he's been really linked to. According to Chris Haynes, the Wizards are not expected to entertain trading Anthony Davis after their meeting with Rich Paul. Rich Paul and the Wizards met. They're on the same page. So whatever they're on the same page about, the idea, and I know Porzingis re-signed with the Warriors, so maybe that took him out of the Anthony Davis runnings, but the idea was getting Anthony Davis and LeBron to team up with Draymond and Steph Curry. It does not mean that LeBron still can't go to the Warriors just on his own, but he was supposedly really intrigued by going there and reuniting with Anthony Davis, as the two did win a championship together with the Golden State Warriors. Now, as I give you positive Heat news, I'm just going to ask this, and we all remember The Last Dance, right? That came out during the pandemic. According to Kevin O'Connor, LeBron James has had discussions about filming this entire upcoming season for a documentary or an episodic series. Like, I hear that. It would be cool to take the documentary back to Miami, right?
Yep.
It would be cool to take it to Golden State with Steph Curry. But when you hear there is discussions about filming this entire upcoming season, it would make me think, maybe instead of calling it The Last Dance, it would be The Last Decision, that he would be going back to Cleveland, because that would be the most nostalgic thing for a little documentary. Started the career in Cleveland, then went to Miami, then went back to Cleveland, then left to go to LA, and then wraps up the whole legendary career going back to the Cavs.
The bookends. Like it makes perfect sense. The bookends, and he has the school he made.
Yeah,
the
I Promise school.
I Promise school.
Yeah.
So now he's working with the kids. He's encouraging Cleveland. The economics there go through the roof whenever he's in town. It does make sense. That's why I think Miami's a third.
Mr. 305. Dale.
God bless.
Dale.
Thank you, Jimmy.
You're welcome.
Oh, can you say thank you again? That internet of yours is horrible. I didn't get
you,
a full thank you. Just making
you,
sure Jimmy gets his credit.
You're welcome.
It's a 305 alarm sponsored by Miami Lake Chevrolet, where you walk in as a customer and drive out as family. This is what it feels like. It feels like the Warriors were the first target. Whether it was likely or not, who knows? Then, if it's not the Warriors, the veteran minimum stuff comes out. Even though I roll my eyes, it's him showing he'll take significantly less. So there's a way to make it work with Cleveland. If for some reason the Cavs and LeBron don't partner up again, then I think it's Miami. Like, I think Miami makes the most sense from a basketball standpoint because it's the biggest need. But in terms of LeBron pecking order, I think it was Golden State first, then the Cavs, and then Miami would be my guess.
I'm right there with you. And talking about the series, the documentary, I think it'd be way more interesting to watch Draymond and Steph and them than watch Mobley, Allen, and Spider. Like Donovan doesn't do much. Like, he's a great player, but he's not a crazy entertainer.
I don't know. You follow around James Harden with the camera, who's also opted out and willing to take less. They once retired his jersey number in a strip club, like because he spent $1 million in a night in a Houston strip club. I think that would be the most interesting thing because we just heard those stories. We haven't actually seen the James Harden stories.
But the idea of him making a decision based on what the best Netflix special was going to be, to me, is bonkers. Like, because the reality is, everybody's going to watch that documentary regardless. He can go play in Washington, and that's still going to be watched because it's LeBron James's final season or his final whatever era of whatever decision he ends up making. Gelb, you're right about the basketball fit, but I think everything LeBron is doing right now, as it always is calculated.
Yeah.
I think he lets the Lakers know that he's not going back there the day free agency starts because he wants to wait and see what other moves teams are going to make. And I still think at the end of the day, the number one thing for LeBron is to compete for a title, which is why I've been adamant that I think the Eastern Conference is going to end up being where he decides to go. I love the idea of him. I've told you guys a billion times, teaming up with Steph Curry. To me, that's fun. As a basketball fan, I would love to see that. But I don't think the path, even with Steph Curry, even if somehow they were able to finagle Anthony Davis over there, which I know doesn't seem likely, even if Jimmy Butler ends up coming back in March and he's healthy, I don't think that team realistically can compete with the Spurs, with the Oklahoma City Thunder, even with the Nuggets who end up coming back. To me, LeBron wants to still compete. Like Antoine Walker said, he still wants to win an NBA title, and he's going to wait. What do the Celtics do? What do the Cleveland Cavaliers do? Brian Windhorst yesterday just floated some idea on ESPN. What if the Cleveland Cavaliers find a way to get Jaylen Brown? Now, all of a sudden, that makes Cleveland a lot more exciting as a place. And by the way, nobody's even mentioned this. I saw somebody on Heat Twitter just kind of ask the question, what's up with Kyrie Irving? Sure, they have Dusty May in Dallas. And sure, well, maybe there's a team out there who's looking around saying, we'll take Kyrie off your hands right now. We'll throw you a first-round pick, Dallas, if it means maybe it entices LeBron to come join us. I'm just saying, like, those are interesting conversations that can be played out, and that could end up being the deciding factor to where LeBron James goes.
I like how you think, because I rolled my eyes the other day when Dusty May was getting introduced as the new head coach of the Mavericks, and they asked about Kyrie, and he's like, I can't wait to lean on Kyrie and basically use his basketball brain. It was a lot of sucking up. And I heard that, and it was like, oh, he is just pampering Kyrie, smacking him on the butt to hope that somebody sees a good Kyrie to start the season, and then you ship his ass out of town.
Because the timelines just don't fit there. And if Kyrie Irving could potentially be moved to a Cleveland again, or to a Boston again, even though I know like that becomes
ain't happening.
I know, but if it means LeBron is going to say, yeah, I'll go play with my old pal Kyrie, and maybe even Miami, right? Like I saw Dan Lebitard today say the LeBron to Miami stuff is very real. Ethan Skolnick said wait till July 6th because he's hearing that that's going to be the day where, you know, real things are going to start happening when all the free agents can officially sign. I just think this is going to take time because LeBron, calculated as always, is going to wait and see, hey, can the Heat move a Jovic with a first-round pick and go grab me another star? Can they somehow figure out a way to go get another enticing player, and then I'll potentially take the minimum? Like, those are probably all things going through his head right now.
It was good to see, by the way, that Dan was comfortable talking about something on his show. By the way, nice to see he was comfortable.
We don't want a war while Hawk is away with the Levitard show. I know you're on that front, Gelby. We don't want that. All right.
Well, I'm playing the role of Hawk. Isn't that what I'm supposed to do here? Right? Like, you know, come on. I'll go post some avocado toast and do some other things. Like, come on. What are we doing here?
After all, spritz. It makes sense. And No, so now you make a lot of sense. Go build me the biggest house. Go get me the best roster, and I'll move in.
And maybe none of that happens, by the way. And then he decides, okay, I'm just going to go where I feel most comfortable, where I'm the happiest, quote unquote. And that's fine too. But I just think there's a lot of maneuvering still available from several teams that could entice LeBron James. And if these reports are true from Rich Paul that he'd consider going anywhere where he could be happy, where he can play golf, obviously, like there are teams that aren't even in the conversation. Yeah. But the Nuggets, Gelb, that to me, we haven't even thought about that yesterday.
I've played golf before in Denver.
I mean, that to me, to go play with the Joker, and if they can get one more big player, they keep Jamal Murray, or maybe they trade Jamal Murray for Jaylen Brown. That's kind of been floated around as well. And all of a sudden, LeBron gets to play with Jaylen Brown and the Joker. I still think it's going to be Cleveland or Miami. I think he wants to go somewhere where he's played already. I do think even LeBron potentially, and this is just me opining, that adding another jersey to the 3 teams he's already played for likely does more damage than good in the long term.
Does it matter? He's the second greatest player of all time. I don't think there's anything he could do to jump Jordan at this rate.
It doesn't if he wins. If he goes somewhere and he wins, it doesn't. But if he goes somewhere and he doesn't win, to me, it just opens up another avenue of criticism to his career.
But then he stays as the second greatest player.
He can never leave there. If you're saying it's an arms race, he's gonna see who has the nicest roster. Do we have, you said Jovic in a 1? You're not getting a superstar for Jovic in a 1.
I mean, like the Kyrie thing to me, and by the way, I'm not the biggest Kyrie Irving fan. But
he's an a-hole, I'll say it.
The Kyrie Irving thing to me is interesting.
He's an a-hole. Kyrie's an a-hole.
The timeline in Dallas doesn't make sense.
He can play point guard, though, Gail.
Yes, he's still an a-hole.
Okay.
I can separate the two. He's a good basketball player. He's also a giant a-hole.
The art and the artist. I think that's what the phrase is.
Crowder, you're 100% right. Does Jovic and a first-round pick, is that the greatest trade offer in the world? No. I would be ridiculous to suggest it. What the Heat did now with that contract to Nico is looking like a bigger and bigger mistake, considering it kind of puts them in a situation right now where they don't have a lot of room that they'd love to have because of the LeBron situation and because of the Giannis situation. But if you're Dallas and Kyrie comes to you and says, hey, let's be honest here, I want to go compete somewhere for the final years of my contract, and Dallas can parlay that into a first-round pick and a young player that has some upside, even though it's not looking great with Nico right now. I'm just saying it's an option. It's something that I could see playing out.
I hope you're right. I'm just saying, like, now we're seeing these trades, 3 1s, 3 2s, 4 players to get a guy. We're not getting a guy for a 1 in Jovic.
You never know, though. It depends how badly Dallas just wants to get rid of someone. And if it's like a salary dump and then you attach a pick to it or something and you find a way to make it work, like you truly don't ever know. But the one thing I'll also say here is, and I know I made the joke about Dan, but to get serious here for a second, Dan had that interview with Pat where Pat said, like, we'll have a new key under the door for you when talking about LeBron. I see a lot of people, and we kind of touched on this the other day, that's like, oh, Pat and LeBron, it was so ugly at the end. I don't think that relationship's great, but I think those fences are mended. And remember, LeBron left the Cavs. Dan Gilbert sent a scathing message out about LeBron James, and he came back. Now, even when they handed out the trophy in Cleveland, it's not like they were rubbing elbows and they were buddy-buddy, and LeBron held Dan Gilbert accountable throughout that entire tenure to go be aggressive and go get players around him, and they made it work. So this idea, and it can't be as bad, his relationship with Pat, cookies or not, can't be as bad as what it was with Dan Gilbert. I don't think the idea that LeBron and Pat, how it ended, is a reason why he wouldn't come back, because he did it in Cleveland.
But I think the situation people were talking about between, or the animosity that there was in 2014 between LeBron and Pat, I think is getting misconstrued. The person who was upset and the person who, in my opinion, perhaps was holding a bit of a grudge would have been Pat Riley. Sure, was LeBron and his relationship with Pat at the end in 2014, was it on the greatest terms because of the cookies or because of whatever, right? LeBron wanted a little bit more say in how things were run. I'm sure that rubbed LeBron the wrong way. I'm sure it factored into his decision to end up ultimately leaving to Cleveland. But LeBron didn't leave here despising Pat Riley. There's a reason why LeBron James won 2 NBA titles. It's because of the team that Pat Riley was able to put together. LeBron understands that. And at this moment today, as we sit here in 2026, this offseason, we know Pat Riley's desperate to build another contender, to have one last hurrah before he ends up hanging it up. We know that because he made a trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo that sent all the assets that Miami has. And I think in my heart of hearts, I'll keep saying it, LeBron wants to win one more ring. He wants to win one more ring, and Pat and LeBron together can win one more ring together. That supersedes any hatred from 2014 that could still be lingering.
And I agree with you. Championships heal all wounds. Time heals all wounds. But let's not act like the cookie thing didn't happen. I am one of the best in shape athletes in the history of time. Give me a damn cookie.
But you know that if they re-sign, Pat will come to the press conference with a big plate of cookies and he'll make a joke out of it. Like I could see it now.
And Crowder.
And so LeBron, but then LeBron leaves Pat in the waiting room while he finishes a FIFA game when he's coming to negotiate with him. Like, let's not act. I don't want to act like nothing was wrong back in the day, because it was 2 alpha lions that couldn't be together anymore in that cage.
In that clip that Gelb just referenced, I rewatched it this morning. It was circulating where Dan Le Batard and at the time Stugatz were interviewing Pat Riley. The first thing he said was, if LeBron comes to me and says he wants to come play with me, then yes, the key will be under the mat, which I took as, I'm not chasing LeBron James anymore. I'm not chasing him. I'm not trying to convince him to come back to us. But at the very end of that interview, he says, yes, I'll leave a nice shiny new key under the mat for LeBron James. And you have to remember the context. In 2014, nobody could have imagined LeBron at this stage, at 41 or 40 years old, would still be doing what he's doing. The idea that Pat Riley would question LeBron's commitment to staying in shape at this stage of LeBron's career is bat bleep insane. He's 41 years old, and he's arguably still the most in shape dude in the NBA. Nobody in the history of sports has committed more money to keeping their body to play at the highest level. So I'm sick of hearing about the cookies and is Pat Riley going to take his cookies away? LeBron could come here and eat barbecue every single day. He could eat cake. He could only eat cookies every single day. And Pat Riley won't say a single thing to him because LeBron has the track record better than anybody in the history of sports that he's committed to putting his body in the best position to play at the highest level. How could you say otherwise at this stage?
Can I give you my hot take for the day?
What if we said no?
What? Giving my hot take?
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Solana's mad because somebody was stealing his cookies for years. So you can go, Gilbert.
Who was the guy that bullied you the other day? What was the name that you gave us?
Trey Ferguson.
Trey.
Yeah, I'm going to go get Trey to come kick the crap out of Solana because I'm tired of doing it myself. Here's the big question. And you can hit us up in the text line, 305-567-0560. I think it's more likely that Pat Riley leaves the key under LeBron James's doormat than in that clip that it is Dan Le Batard leaving a key under Stugatz's doormat.
What are you doing?
That's the big take.
What are you doing, man?
I like uncomfortable conversations here. Solana's getting whiter than a ghost that he's normally is anyway. I see that, Jim Larinaga usually joins in this hour. I see that big shiny forehead right now.
I don't get media beefs because we can just meet at the Walmart.
I just like to poke fun at them. I like to poke fun at the beef when everyone else is tussling in the streets.
Yeah.
Trust me, when I get in a beef, you'll know I'll be yelling, going nuts, calling the person an a-hole and all that stuff. I ran into Adam Fisher, who used to be on the Miami staff when I was in Margate down at the Shore, and he referenced, Coach L coming on last week, his weekly spot, and he goes, Coach L called me to talk about you in the interview. His wife goes, Coach L loves Diet Coke and also loves McDonald's. And she goes, don't say the McDonald's part on the radio. And here I am saying it on the radio. But Coach L, I think, has a little sweet tooth for some Mickey D's.
that has been broached several times on this show. In fact, Hawk forced Coach L, and when I say forced, I literally mean forced Coach L when he was out on the West Coast to go to In-N-Out Burger for the first time in his life, just so he could give us a review about In-N-Out Burger.
I'm so happy my era on this show is over. When anytime I would come on, they'd be like, National What in What Day? It'd be like, go try a Shamrock Shake. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm trying to lose weight. I'm not trying to gain 50 pounds by doing this segment that I don't get any extra money for.
We like to enjoy life on this show.
Oh, my God. You guys, it's a freshman 15. I got the Hochman, Crowder, and Solana 15 when I did this show for the first time. Oh, my God. All righty, let's get to headlines here.
Your headlines, they're brought to you by our friends at Doral Volkswagen, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit us at Doral Volkswagen or at DoralVolkswagen.com. What do you guys think about what the Lakers are doing? Because they send a boatload of picks to the Utah Jazz, and Danny Ainge just has to be licking his chops that he was able to get that package from the Los Angeles Lakers as a lifelong Celtics guy. The Lakers, by the way, I think their team is solid. Walker Kessler gets $130 million, 4 years. Quentin Grimes signed there 4 years, $60 million. They added Colin Sexton for just under 10 a year. Sandro Mamukelashvili, 4 years, $52 million. Like, they're building a big team.
God bless
Obviously, got to go through Victor Wembanyama and the Joker. Clearly just building a team around Luka Doncic, but the Lakers, according to Brett Siegel, have no tradable first-round picks over the next 7 years after that sign and trade for Walker Kessler, and they have committed $475 million to Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and Walker Kessler over the next several seasons.
A lot of white guys on that team, by the way.
Could be an all-white starting five. Could be an all white.
Yeah. And for you to describe them as solid, you give up your future and you're in the West for a solid roster, that doesn't like it's going to work out.
Solana's favorite team now, the Lakers. That's what I hear.
Bleached.
But is this a positive for them? So out, LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, Marcus Smart, Luke Kennard. I think Luke Kennard signed with Houston.
No.
In Walker Kessler, Mamukelashvili, Quentin Grimes, Colin Sexton.
But isn't that what Luka wanted, though? He said he wanted a bunch of bigs around him.
Yeah.
That's all I heard. He wanted bigs around him.
Walker Kessler is like legitimately a very good player. I know nobody cares about him because he was in Utah and nobody cares about the Utah.
And he's young.
Right.
I think he's 24 or 25 or something like that. So it's like we've seen Luka get to an NBA Finals before. It wasn't like that team was absolutely loaded. Like, it was a good team. It wasn't a loaded team. So you got Luka with it firmly being his team. I like Reeves. Is he really a 2 and a championship winning team? I wouldn't think so. But this is now the Luka Doncic led Lakers, and if they continue to have success, then people are going to want to join them, and they're not going to need those picks. But with that being said, do I think that team is going to beat a healthy OKC, a healthy San Antonio Spurs? Yeah, that's a no for me, dog.
Yeah, it's a no for me, dog. And their two guards they pay all the money to aren't defenders. Like, Marcus Smart had to defend people. Like, is that why he wanted bigs behind him, so he doesn't really have to guard anybody?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So no, I don't see this being successful.
All right. In the NBA, Norman Powell is headed to the Chicago Bulls. Ultimately, it seems like the Miami Heat weren't too interested in bringing back Norman Powell. And it sucks because I thought he was great last year when Tyler Hero was out, held it down, was an all-star last season. He was a good dude. I'm speaking from personal experience, was always very kind anytime I spoke to him. But Norm ends up in Chicago. I don't think there's too many Heat fans outraged about this today.
And I didn't really see the need to bring him back. Like, I understand the backcourt issues or the backcourt holes right now, but it's like we even talked about this when I think I came down in the winter. Like, he wasn't getting to the charity stripe that much towards the end of the season. He faded off towards the end of the year. Like, at his age, do I need to go give him a 2-year contract? I don't think he was a must-have to keep for the Heat.
The reality is, first half of the season, especially when Tyler was out, Norm played like a guy who deserved a $22.5 million a year contract. The final month and a half of the season, he played like a guy that was looking at a vet min contract. That's just how he looked. It's unfortunate. I think the style of play Miami was running factored into that as well. He was worn down by the end of the year.
Mhm.
I don't think Miami was in a position where they were going to be able to commit $45 million over 2 years to Norman Powell, considering they have to build around Giannis for the next couple of years.
Have you ever gone to an amusement park with your abuela and abuelo?
Yeah.
What happens about 2:33 in the afternoon? They got to go sit down. They get tired because they're old. That's what old people do. They get tired. Old people go. I was looking about the Golden State Warriors. Steph's 40, Draymond's 36, somebody else is 36. Like, they're going to wear down. They're never going to be able to make it through the playoffs with those old players playing 32 minutes a night. It just can't happen.
I think your microphone and your internet connection is also old as well. Jeez, you sound like a robot there.
Oh, Solana?
No, you.
Really?
Both of you throughout the show.
No,
you guys sound like robots.
I got Elon Musk on my roof.
Yeah. Maybe you said something controversial about him on Twitter because he's ready to axe you.
What's it called? I got Starlink.
Elon Musk.
The Florida Panthers have made a ton of moves and a ton of announcements. The biggest one, though, didn't come from the Panthers. It's that Sergei Bobrovsky signing a 3-year, $21 million contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So the Bob era now officially has come to a close in Sunrise. And the Marlins, they do play tonight, 8:40 p.m. They're going to try to win this series against the Colorado Rockies. No joke, the Marlins, best team in the majors in the month of June. They'll try to keep that going now as we enter the month of July. Listen to that game on FM 104.3 WQAM. Your weather in South Florida right now, it's 90 degrees. Tonight, the lows will be in the upper 70s. That's brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, helping keep your home and family safe. When the storms roll in, visit tornadoroofing.com for your free roof and window estimate.
Yeah, it's amazing on the Marlins. Their best June in franchise history. So damn impressive as South Florida. Things... One move happens, everyone starts heating up. It is crazy the dominoes that have been falling. Canes make the championship game. Then they get Giannis. Then they get Brady Tkachuk. Darian Mensah now here. The Marlins are actually winning 20 games in June. Like, remember we thought they'd win 20 games in a season? Now they're winning 20 games in June.
24 runs in 2 games. That's nuts.
Yeah, Jimmy's running out of clothes. Every day he's got a new team that he's got to jump to. I think he's running out of teams here. Maybe we'll wear a Messi jersey tomorrow. All right, it is Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelbin for Hawk. We'll be back after this.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Well, I love Zephyr Hills.
There is no Zephyr Hills. It's Zephyr Hills. We've been over this.
Yes, it is Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelb in for Hawk. Tim Hardaway Sr. going to join us coming up at 4:25 today. We'll talk about his son, Tim Hardaway Jr., signing with the Miami Heat yesterday to tip off free agency. Wiggins obviously back with the Heat. We know Norman Powell is off to the Bulls, and we'll keep on seeing what happens in this never-ending LeBron James rumor mill. I was just reading during the break that the Nuggets, according to the Denver Post, they have reached out to LeBron James's representation. So we know that the Nuggets are in the mix. We know the Heat are in the mix. We see that the Cavs are in the mix, Golden State, and there's been a bunch of other teams that have been rumored as well. I want to get to this because, Solana, I know we were talking about this off the air. So clearly, whenever LeBron retires, he's getting a statue. He's getting his number retired in Cleveland. We all know that. When it comes to the Lakers and when it comes to the Heat, we know the number will get retired in LA. We know the number will get retired with the Heat bare minimum. Does anything more need to happen? Does there need to be a statue in LA for the Lakers for LeBron, or a statue in Miami for LeBron?
So we've talked about this a lot over the years before we knew LeBron was going to leave LA. The Lakers one to me, Gelb, is so damn interesting. I saw today, I don't remember who it was, somebody out in LA basically saying that, yes, LeBron won a title there, but it never felt like he was truly a Laker, which to me is just baffling. It always did feel like even Laker fans were constantly pitting LeBron against Kobe Bryant. And I don't understand that genuinely, because Kobe had already retired by the time LeBron signed there. Will he get a statue there? He deserves one. I don't know if he will. Honestly, I don't. Does LeBron get a statue in Miami? Let's say he doesn't come back here, right? Let's just say he doesn't come back. Hawk had this unbelievable idea when we talked about this a year ago. A big three statue.
That's a good idea.
So not a LeBron statue alone next to Dwayne Wade, but to actually put up, maybe it's not on Biscayne Boulevard, maybe it's in the back on the East Plaza, which overlooks the Bay, which is a very common area where Heat fans go during games or before games. A big three statue. It's Wade, LeBron, and Bosh all get like a mini statue, and the Heat can redo Dwayne Wade, give him another statue.
Yeah, I was going to say, they already did the Wade statue. They messed it up. We may not want LeBron to get a statue in Miami. It may look like the ugliest thing we've ever seen.
So I think that would be a really cool feature to, one, get LeBron and Bosh the credit they deserve, and to immortalize the best 4-year run in South Florida sports history.
Y'all are crazy with Miami. Him and Bosh and Wade, a big three, a triple cutie. LeBron James, full size on Biscayne Boulevard. He's the best athlete to ever touch the ground in South Florida. What are y'all talking about?
I wouldn't be opposed, but I think the statue is reserved for the faces of the organization. And to me, Pat Riley is going to get one. Dwayne Wade already has one. And there's zero argument against those two being the most important pieces to the Miami Heat organization. Eric Spoelstra, I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the day he ends up getting one as well. To me, Crowder, LeBron, those 4 years, best 4 years ever, but he's never going to be remembered as a Miami Heat player. He's going to get that statue in Cleveland. It should be the largest statue ever built for any player in the history of the world. But he's not going to be remembered as a Miami Heat player, which is why I think the big three will always be remembered as uniquely the Miami thing, which is why that's how you honor them the right way.
And Gil, you always do this. In 15 years, you have a son next year. Your son's 14, gets into basketball. When you talk about LeBron James, you're not talking about the Heat era. You're talking about Cleveland.
About the decision. I'm talking about decision. But if you ask me, what's the first thing you talk about when you talk about LeBron James? It's the 3-1 comeback up against the Warriors, the block by James, the Cleveland, this is for you. That's the first thing I'm saying. Then I'm probably saying second best player of all time. And then after that, it would be the controversial way that he left Cleveland the first time. And what made that moment even so special with him coming back and winning was that he left in the fashion he did, leaving the Cavs at the altar before 4 years later ultimately coming on back.
Wade got Miami 3 championships. LeBron got them 2.
Yep.
LeBron's better than Wade. And I love
Yeah, but no
Dwayne
one's
Wade.
arguing that. But who's the better all-time Miami Heat player compared to who's the better all-time player? That's different.
We talking longevity? If it's just longevity, it's an easy answer, Gail.
Well,
we talking about those 4 years, who was the better player on the court?
Well, that's a different conversation. But if you look at the entire, it was Wade's team, but it was really LeBron's team. LeBron was the best player on the team.
Right.
But Wade's career in Miami, the totality of the career is more impressive than LeBron's 4 years in Miami. But I'm not sitting here saying Dwayne Wade was a better basketball player than LeBron James. I'd be the biggest dope. But my point here is this. I'm not going to freak out if the Lakers or the Heat give LeBron James a statue. They definitely retire his number. I just don't think it's necessary to give LeBron or a statue in Miami or Los Angeles. The only one I really care about is the one in Cleveland.
And what is it? The Staples Center or Crypto something?
Yeah, Crypto.com Arena, I believe.
They have 462 statues outside that place. Shaq is from the rim somewhere. They have, Kareem. They have, if you walk up past that little dirty road that's in front of it, they have all the statues. Throw an extra statue up.
It's not the end of the world. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. But I will give you credit, Solana, because you bring up a point that was excellent. The hatred with some Lakers fans with LeBron because they're Kobe guys. I saw a clip today, and it was weird energy from Kobe Bryant fans who now just hate on LeBron. LeBron and Kobe were close. Very close. And let's remember how important that championship was that LeBron won in Los Angeles, because it came in the aftermath of the horrible death of Kobe Bryant and his beautiful little girl. That was a big moment, LeBron winning that championship for an organization that Kobe meant everything to, and they needed something to smile about. And LeBron winning that championship brought a lot of smiles to the faces of those Kobe Bryant fans. It's
weird. It's weird how the Lakers fan base, just from an outsider's perspective, I'm not in LA, so and I'm not reading Lakers tabloids every day, but just from an outsider's perspective, how it always kind of felt like they're constantly comparing the two, when in reality, two things can be true. Kobe Bryant is one of the greatest Lakers of all time, and he was incredibly important to that organization. And everything he did there will go down in history. There's a reason why he has 2 statues of him, plus the one of him and his daughter, Gianna. All that is great. All that can be true. Also can be true, LeBron James is better than Kobe Bryant at basketball. And it doesn't mean that you're taking a shot at Kobe Bryant when you say that. And he brought them a championship. Now, we could talk about the totality of LeBron's 8 seasons in LA. Were they a bit of a disappointment? Did he win as much as most people would expect LeBron going to LA would win? Those are 2 different conversations.
But
and
there wasn't
I'm
an expectation for him to win when he went out there. People didn't think he was winning a championship going to Los Angeles. Those were the takes in the moment.
I agree, but Gelb, it's dumb. The Los Angeles Lakers have always been a preeminent or the preeminent organization in the NBA, going back to Jerry West in the late 60s and obviously in the 70s and in the 80s when they dominated the NBA. When Shaq went there, they were able to build a contender around Shaq. They rebuilt the team around Kobe Bryant. They have limitless money. The idea that LeBron James going to LA, they weren't going to do everything they could to build a winner around LeBron is stupid. The problem is nobody thought in 2019 when LeBron joined LA that we'd be talking in 2026 about him still being one of the best players in the NBA. Everybody thought he was going there to retire when he's proven otherwise.
We didn't bring up Kareem. We didn't bring up Magic. Think about the LA history. It's crazy. Gatekeepers are the weirdest fans. Those ones that we can't do that. Those are the weirdest fans out there. I agree with you. It's just weird when you want to say, nope, he can't be Kobe. He can be Kobe. He plays. He's great. Come on.
But here's the thing too. It shows you how great LeBron has been. When we're sitting here and you go, oh, he only won 2 championships in Miami. He was there for 4 years. Oh, he only won 1 championship in Los Angeles. Tom Brady's my favorite athlete of all time. Brady has ruined the way that we view championships because he won 7. So now it's oh, if you only win 1, like in a place, then you're like a bum. Where if Dan Marino won a championship, it would be the people would be putting him in the conversation as arguably one of the greatest, as like the top 3 quarterback of all time.
I love people that say those 4 years in Miami were a disappointment because he only won 2 titles. Just look at LeBron's career as a whole. He played 11 total seasons with the Cleveland Cavaliers. 7 years the first year, 4 in the second stint. How many titles did he win in 11 seasons with the Cleveland Cavaliers?
But he never had a team like the one that he had in Miami.
One. He won 1 ring. And then he goes to LA. We forget he's been there or was there 8 seasons. How many titles did he win in LA? In 8 seasons? 1. And in 4 years, 4 finals appearances, 4 Eastern Conference championships, and he won more rings in Miami in half the time of both stints than he did anywhere else. So the idea that is a disappointment to me is just so dumb.
But you know this and I know this. When you sit there, and there was a lot of things we didn't know that was going to happen. Like Dwayne Wade at the end wasn't the same player. Unfortunately, Chris Bosh with the status of his health. But when you get on a podium and you say, not 1, not 2, not 3, 400 championships, and you lose the way that you did to the Mavericks, and then you bookend it with the loss to the Spurs, even though you beat them the year prior, I understand why people say it. Like, because you thought they were going to win more championships, where if they won 3 out of 4 and just lost 1, I think it's a different tone. But I get why the conversation exists with LeBron in Miami.
And I agree with you, Solana. 2 out of 4 is great. But I still remember LeBron running away from J.J. Barea. And that gets to me.
I'm not backing away from that. I told Gelb last week when we had Chalmers on, the idea, the notion.
Rio, please, let's speak about him correctly. Rio.
The notion that the Heat, and I even asked Rio this, like the idea that the Heat needed to lose that first title in order to learn how to win was always ridiculous to me. They should have won that first year if LeBron plays to his averages. So I understand the idea. Hey, they could have won more. Yeah, but there's no shame in 4 title or 4 championship appearances or 4 finals appearances and winning 2 rings, especially when you see how the rest of his career played out, how difficult it was for him to win one in Cleveland, and then how difficult it was to even get to the finals in LA. He only did it 1 time in 8 seasons.
But this is sports because, like, look at 2 debates. LeBron, Michael. Even if LeBron got to 6, people will be like, well, Jordan never lost in an NBA Finals, but LeBron got to more NBA Finals. Brady and Montana. Brady blew past Montana's 4 rings, but when it was close, Montana's never lost a Super Bowl, so I'm supposed to punish a guy for going further than bowing out in a round or 2 earlier. That's just sports where those conversations are always there. When you're in the elite fraternity, what we bitch and complain about, it's like when you have a really rich person. Oh, someone gets a Maserati. All right, I'm going to one-up them. I'm going to go get a Lamborghini. Oh, I got a Bronco. Well, I'm going to go get 2 Broncos. It's just like a dumb game of like basically Antoine Walker and Shawn Merriman at the strip club. Like, oh, you're going to get 6. I'm going to get 7. Oh, you're going to go get 8. I'm going to go get 10. That's what it is.
He's worth $700 million. He's worth $1 billion. He's worth $1.2 billion. Come on, man. Everybody's rich.
Yeah, like, can I just be worth $20 million? Like, I'll be the poor guy in that circle. I'd be happy to do so. It is Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelb for Hawk. We'll take a break. When we do come on back, we will get into some headlines. And don't miss it. Coming up at 4:25 today, live on Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Tim Hardaway Sr., the day after his son, Tim Hardaway Jr., elected to sign with the Miami Heat.
My friends over at Edmore's are celebrating 80 years in business. They are the best, been the best for decades. And my man, Chris Atkins, and his amazing team he's put together, they're commemorating this occasion at Edmore Sawgrass Cadillac by giving you special savings on Cadillac Luxury, the all-electric Cadillacs. If you haven't seen them, go test drive one. Go check them out. Cadillac has figured out this all-electric. Get a 2026 Cadillac Optic. You can get that for just $349 a month, or the all-electric 2025 Cadillac Lyrics for just $369 a month. The brand has been family owned and operated for 80 years. And you know what the secret is? I'll tell you the cheat code. They know how to take care of their customers. Go check out the 80th year anniversary savings at my friends at Edmore Sawgrass Cadillac. They're the 6-time dealer of the year. Sunrise Boulevard and the Sawgrass Expressway. You can't miss it. When you ride past, you'll see it. You'll see the beautiful cars go ahead, take that left or that right in. You'll meet the beautiful people. You will be taken care of. I promise you, my entire driveway is backed by Moore's. Visit EdmoreSawgrassCadillac.com, and I'm telling you, get backed by Moore's. From the trade into the sale to the lease, the service department, the sales team, everybody's so nice, helpful. They text you and email you when you need oil changes. And if my tire was going flat about 3 days ago, I'm getting texts saying, hey, your PSI is low. Come bring it in and check it out. I'm telling you, you have to be backed by Moore's. Click EdmoreSawgrassCadillac.com.
This is Hawk, Crowder, and Solana.
I'd like to officially go on record. I am wearing underwear today.
PM and we back on the clock, so don't get cutesy. Dog lead the station unlocked. We got the sports talk and the drama to make sure the T clock. WQAM is the Avengers with no weak spot. For Joe Rose, Woody Bo, Omar and more, Tobin and Leroy giving gooses galore. Yeah, for 2 to 6 is reserved for 3 legends. The captains of America, not no Chris Evans. For Spritz to McRibs and calling out game scores. Hochman, Crowder, Solana, get ready for some more.
Yeah, that's right. We're ready for some more. It is Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelb in for Hawk. Coming up at 4:25 p.m. today. So in about 15, 20 minutes from now, we'll be connecting with Tim Hardaway Sr. His son yesterday, Tim Hardaway Jr., said, I'm going to go join Dad's old squad in the Miami Heat. And there's a huge, not just like a big, but a huge need for Tim Hardaway Jr., even though he's like 33, 34 now. He just came off a career year from 3, highest three-point percentage of his career, most three-pointers made in a season in his career with the Denver Nuggets. And now he'll be getting passes from Giannis, Bam, and maybe LeBron to just hit 3 after 3 after 3. And I see Solana just salivating at the thought of LeBron back in a Miami Heat uniform with Giannis, Bam, and Tim Hardaway Jr. And who knows, if LeBron comes back, maybe Wiggins will be on his way out even after getting the deal done. And it'll be like good old times for LeBron, because when LeBron got to Cleveland, they just drafted Wiggins, and he was put in the deal to go get Kevin Love. So big day happening. And, oh, yeah, by the way, Bob left. Bobrovsky's going to the Maple Leafs on a 3-year deal. And I was just looking at Brendan Tobin's social media. You would have thought his wife left him, because he is an emotional wreck.
Well, first off, 33 is the new 20 in sports. These guys take so good care of their bodies. So we'll be fine with Tim Hardaway Jr. being old. And, yeah, I think we'll be okay without Bob, but I appreciate his time down here.
Yeah, Tobin's really, really upset about this.
Yeah,
I almost texted him. I almost texted him and be like, hey, sorry for your loss. My condolences. You would have acted like Bob just died.
That crash out expected though, man. Tobin is the biggest Sergei Bobrovsky fan. Like even Gelb, before the Panthers start winning titles, go to the Stanley Cup final, when they first traded for Bob, he was making a lot of money. And the first 2 seasons were mostly bad. Like, he wasn't a quality goalie living up to that contract. And even then, Tobin was caping up for Bob and defending him. So tough times for old Tobes. I feel for him.
I'm texting him right now. My condolences. Sorry for your loss. I'm curious how quickly he will respond, if he'll be like, what the F is this guy talking about?
When Bob got on that stage, I think it was the first Stanley Cup parade, he got on that stage, I really fell in love with him then.
Yeah.
He was a couple drinks in, Gelby, and he was wide open. I didn't understand a word he said.
Well, you said earlier, like, the NBA guys in the strip club are the best. Hockey players are the best partiers ever. Like, you see that they win a Stanley Cup, they bring that cup to their hometown or to wherever establishment that they want to go to, and those guys party like no other. And the cup has actually been handed out twice, I believe, in Vegas, where it was when the Capitals won. The Capitals won in Vegas. And then this past year when the Hurricanes won, they won in Vegas. And imagine winning the Stanley Cup and then you go right out to the Las Vegas clubs right after that. Mm-hmm. That seems like a good old time.
I don't know about that. I know about Las Olas, American Social, when Vinny Trocheck and them boys were here. Goodness gracious, they could go. Hey, y'all, I'm hollering at y'all later. I need to get some sleep. I can't do this anymore.
And when did you realize that your strip club days were kind of overcrowded, that you couldn't hang with the younger athletes?
2032, I think, probably when I figured that thing out.
Yeah. Strip club days are over? Do you know?
To say, Gil, but I don't.
But what I mean by that is like staying there till like 3, 4 in the morning. Like, this is an old head now in Channing Crowder. This guy's in bed by 8:30, 9 o'clock with some milk and cookies.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, I would say the walking out and the sun's coming up, that ended about 30. Because then it ruined my whole next day. I'd sleep for 12 hours. Now it's nighttime again. It just ruins your whole sleep pattern.
Gelb, the first time, it was my first year working at QM, and Crowder, I don't think you'd have an issue with me telling this story. You probably don't even remember this story. But we had our holiday party at the Citadel. We weren't even moved in there yet, but we had our holiday party at the Citadel.
What year was this?
2017, maybe
Okay.
2018. Like I was fairly new. I wasn't even working with Hawk and Crowder yet.
You were just out of college.
Yeah. I mean, I was fairly new at WQAM. I was just kind of maybe producing with Big O at the time. And after the party, I was boys with Falero. And Falero, who was producing the show, was like, hey, I'm going out with Crowder. Come with us. I'm like, all right. Like, I'm not turning that down.
Like, awesome.
And
he's going to pay for everything.
I thought we were just going to go to a bar or something. We pull up to Tootsie's. And it was the first time I realized, like, damn, Crowder's like that. That place, Gelb, there's a line out the door. I'm talking about, like, it's Friday night, line out the door at Tootsie's. And Crowder says, yeah, whoever.
What up, big dog? I got 5 guys coming in.
Who's with us? Who's with us? We're like 8 people, all from the radio station. Crowder probably doesn't even know half of them. And he's like, yeah, I'll take that table back there. They bring us right through that line, right to that table. They clear it out. Everybody get the F out of the way. Chanting Crowder's here. That was when I was like, damn, Crowder's like that, man. That was the funnest night ever.
You got to think about this is 2017. So that means I've been going to Tootsie's now for 12 years. 12 years I've been going there because I got here in 05. Yeah. What up, Adrian? Yeah, I got 8, big dog. Come on out, buddy. Yeah, go out the exit.
Big dog.
Slide on through. Yeah, man, you know when you when
now
you
imagine like when LeBron walks in or like Jason Taylor walks in and like the treatment that they probably get over Crowder.
I don't know because they don't go that often. I'm a regular. I got my table in the back. Got a
there is something.
There was a little Tootsie's before the big Tootsie's. There was one road over.
Mm-hmm.
They used to have a little like a plaque, a little gold plaque with my name on it. The big Tootsie's don't do gold plaques.
There is nothing like when you're at a popular place. It doesn't have to be a strip club. Like it could be a restaurant. And like you're in the inner circle. And it's like you could call up or you could show up at any time and they'll let you in. That is not a bad experience. So I could understand a little bit. Like I don't have that many inner circles, but a little bit of what that treatment is like.
I like to pull into the valet only lot and just park myself. And then somebody runs over and then they see you and they're like, oh, okay, you good, bro. Don't worry about it. That's the highlight of my night when I can park in the valet only spots.
Let's get to headlines with Solana.
Really quickly, let me give you your stock market report. It's brought to you by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Kind of a mixed Wednesday here as the stock market closed at 4 p.m. The Dow Jones rose about 0.6%. The S&P 500 added 0.2%, and the NASDAQ dipped 0.2%. Again, that stock market report brought to you by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
And the Bobrovsky stock, by the way, is down. Tobin got back to me already. He said, thank you. I appreciate it.
Don't mess with Tobin, bro. He's big. Like, I know you're a big dude, Gel, but Tobin's
I'm not messing
man.
with Tobin. I am giving up. Like, just because we go back and forth, you think I'm like this giant just a-hole that wants to fight everybody. I'm caring for Brendan Tobin because I understand what it's like to lose like your man crush in sports. That was a sincere text.
All right.
I like that, Solana.
I beat the crap out of him, by the way.
I don't know. I think it's a pick'em.
He's got some years on me, right?
Tobin.
Be like 2 rhinoceroses just going at one another. Or hungry hippos. 2 giraffes.
Just beating each other's heads. Yeah, I would like to see that one.
Minus 1,000 Tobin for me, by the way. I don't think Gelb has that dog in him. Like Tobin grew up in the wilderness. Tobin fights. Tobin grabs lizards like iguanas, these massive iguanas. He just picks them up with his bare hands. Tobin's a man. Gelb is a tutti frutti up in New York City. He's drinking his Starbucks coffee every day. Come on.
Like, I don't like talking about this. I have gotten 2 fights in my life. One time I knocked out a state wrestler. Like an all-state wrestler. I think that's pretty damn good.
Very good. I think you just brushing over old Gelby now, Solana.
I'm a nice guy. I'm a friendly person. But if you poke, the bear,
you got the reach. Yeah, got the reach on Tobe. Tobe's got little tiny arms. You got the reach
those
on
little alligator arms. You mess with the bull, you eventually get the horns.
Yeah, but Tobin's got Heat culture flowing through his veins.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I give it up to Tobin.
I got Knicks championship culture flowing through my veins.
Oh yeah, these Knicks fans. We got to
Just
deal
get
with
to
this
the
for a
headlines, little
year.
fella, all right? I got to get to my main man, Tim Hardaway Sr. coming up when I pretend to be like a Heat fan now when he joins us.
We got 11 months left of this Heat stuff, Knicks stuff. Good.
Imagine if they repeat. Oh.
Impossible. I'd bet you right now.
Solana
they
would
won't
be
repeat.
dead. I'd actually be sending actual condolence texts because Solana would literally die if
Oh,
the
he
Knicks won
was
another
sad. The
championship.
day after the closeout, he was sad.
I
Like,
was.
really sad. Quiet
was.
on the show, talking low. He was sad.
Listen, man, I'm consistent with this. I hate the Knicks. Like, I genuinely, it made me sad. It made me angry that the
I
Knicks
hate you,
won. But-
genuinely.
yeah, but I haven't shied away from that. Like, I took it on the chin. Hey, great run. Like, whatever, bro. But disgusting fan base, disgusting team, disgusting owner, just awful. Everything about it was awful. Your headlines are sponsored by Doral Volkswagen, home of the Pricito, our
Need a
lowest price.
tissue for
Visit
those
us
tears?
at Doral Volkswagen or at DoralVolkswagen.com.
He got mad because I kept saying Big Body Brunson. That's not his name. Just say his name.
You know who Solana hates the most now in the media?
Who's that?
It's Kendrick Perkins. Because he'll be the first person to be like, them goons from Miami. But now he's slamming Giannis, slamming the Heat. And he's the guy that always says Big Body Brunson.
You don't know about our history with Perk because when the Heat were in that run in the bubble, Kendrick Perkins is calling Hawk. Kendrick Perkins is teaming up with the show. Kendrick Perkins is calling us to come on the show. He's trying to sling his merch. He wants to sell those Dem Goons in Miami t-shirts. And then the second the Miami Heat lost to the Milwaukee Bucks the following year, he's questioning Pat Riley. He's saying Jimmy Butler isn't worth a damn. And then the Miami Heat land Giannis Antetokounmpo. What's the first thing he does? Well, Giannis can't win a ring as the number one option on a team anymore. Just total phony. And guess what? Next year, when the Heat are in the title and he wants to start pushing that Dem Goons in Miami merch again, I don't want a phone call, Perk. I don't want you to contact Crowder. I don't want you to contact WQAM. I don't want you to contact anybody down here because you showed your hand and you just jump on the bandwagon when it's convenient to make your little money. And then you ditch us the first chance that you got. So I don't want to hear anything about Kendrick Perkins.
He'll be on with Joe or he'll be on with Tobin and Leroy. Just not coming on with Solana.
I'm picking up.
See, I think that's great. Like right when, because I used to have a good relationship with Perk, and right when the Heat got Giannis, I just floated out there to Solana without knowing all this, fighting that he has. I'm like, oh, let's get Perk. He's like, absolutely not. Today's not the day to do this. I go, that's great radio. You tell him to shut the F up. You guys go back and forth, and I sit here with popcorn and just look at my fingers with the butter.
Listen, when Kendrick Perkins learns how to pronounce Bam Adebayo's name and he doesn't call him Bam out of the Bayou, then he's welcome to come back on the show.
Bam out of the Bayou.
Them goons from Miami.
he does call him out of the Bayou. It's so funny.
All right, there's
Out of the Bayou.
some NBA news right now. Tobias Harris is going to San Antonio.
Oh.
2-year, $31 million contract, according to Shams Charania. That's interesting.
Tobias Harris is from Dix Hills. I went to Comac High School, but I grew up in Dix Hills. When Tobias Harris got drafted, he was at a gas station ATM. This is such an old man move that my dad did. He sees him like taking money out, and he goes, son, you make too much money now to be taking money out of a gas station ATM. And that was my dad's one interaction with Dix Hill legend, Tobias Harris.
Ooh, that's making the West real interesting.
Yeah. Kelly Oubre, this is just like recent stuff. Kelly Oubre, $17 million deal or almost there, signed with the Indiana Pacers. That was another guy that maybe people were considering could come to Miami.
But just circling back on Tobias Harris, that's another guy that kind of shrinks in the postseason. Yeah. So like him and De'Aaron Fox going to be holding hands in San Antonio when they lose to the Knicks again in the championship.
Oh, he can drop 40 on a Wednesday night, can he? But then he gets to the playoffs and doesn't do nothing. Yeah, you're right.
The big story in South Florida right now, Sergei Bobrovsky, he is gone. Sergei Bobrovsky has signed with the Toronto Maple Leafs, which is why Tobin was getting condolences from Zach Gelb. So that is official.
You talk about ATMs. You know they have a tap on them now. You can tap your card on an ATM. It's pretty cool.
I actually, over the weekend when I was in Margate, I didn't know a restaurant was cash only. And the bill came and they're like, it's cash only. And I didn't have my ATM card. Thankfully, I looked up and I see my best friend's brother waiting in line. And I'm like, you went to the casino the other night. Was it a good night? He goes, yeah. I go, give me some money. I'll Venmo you right away. I didn't have my because everything now is with the phone and tapping, and I don't carry around cash.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
Oh, you're a puppy. That's right. Yeah, you're in your 40s.
I don't carry cash.
You
Me
got
neither.
to. You got to have some cash on you as a man.
No,
Nah.
people that were born when I was born, they don't carry cash around.
Agreed.
I'm not saying 1,000, but you got to have $50, $60 on you just in case something goes down.
I will say though, Gelb, and I know that's a shock when you're there and you realize it's cash only, you're in a bind, but any restaurant that is cash only,
They
you
should
know it's
tell
going
you.
to slap. Well, yeah, but you know it's going to slap. Like, you know that restaurant is
Yeah.
legit good.
It was a good breakfast spot.
Yeah.
Y'all
all right,
never have paper dollars in y'all's pocket.
Never. Ever.
I'm either coming back from a casino or coming back with Crowder from the strip club. That's about it.
Oh, Gilbert, you can't leave with the ones you got. You got to throw everything at the end.
20s. I scoop up the hundreds and they just leave floating around. Oh, what was that 100? Crumpled up in the bathroom. I'll take it, dust it off, put it back in my wallet.
The Panthers have agreed to terms with defenseman Alexander Petrovic on a 2-year contract. They also announced that Cole Schwint is staying as well here in Miami. Ratko Gudas signed as well. The Panthers making a ton of moves. They've posted all of them on their social media. And very quickly here, your World Football Scoreboard update. It's brought to you by your local Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is truly unmatched for every match with 29-degree drafts of Michelob Ultra Spicy Margaritas made with Casamigos and unrivaled views all tournament long. Twin Peaks each drinks scenic views. So yesterday, France, Norway, Mexico moved on. England was down 1-0 to Congo, and then Harry Kane was like, just give me the ball, bro, and he did the rest. So England ends up winning 2-1. Harry Kane with the screamer at the very end. Belgium, Senegal is happening right now. Tonight, I'm rocking my USA kit. USA, Bosnia and Herzegovina, 8 p.m. games being played in Santa Clara, California.
Did you dump the Uruguay jersey? Did you just get rid of it?
Okay. Your weather right now in South Florida, it's 90 degrees. It's man, I hate you, bro.
We didn't hear about Uruguay this week.
It is a monsoon by my area in Kendall. Lightning, heavy rain. So if you're out there on the road, parts of South Florida getting just drilled right now by some rain. Drive safely. That's brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Storm season is coming. Make sure your home is ready. Storm season's here, by the way. Get your free roof and window estimate today. Visit tornadoroofing.com.
Solana, does Uruguay practice?
Hey, you went 1-15, so I don't want to hear about that.
There was also a monsoon in Uruguay after they lost to Spain. All those tears flowing from those fans' faces.
Do they have a practice field? Goodness gracious.
I'll log off right now, bro. I'm not doing this right now.
Make the show better. Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelbin for Hawk. Tim Hardaway Sr. joins us next to talk about his son, Tim Hardaway Jr., joining his team. We'll get to it in a bit.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
I'm not a football guy, you know that, but I read Bill Walsh's book. Do you remember? You know the book?
I can't read, Coach.
This speech is my recital. I think it's very vital to rock around. That's right. On time.
Alrighty, welcome back in. It is Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelb in for Hawk. You all know this by now. Yesterday, to tip off free agency, the Miami Heat did sign Tim Hardaway Jr. And now joining us on the guest line is Tim Hardaway Sr., who does have his number 10 retired by the Heat organization. And he joins us in the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, toyotaofhollywood.com. Tim Hardaway Sr., congratulations. I'd imagine things are going pretty damn well for you these days, right?
Yes, it is. Thank you very much. We're very happy to be back at home in Miami, where he grew up at, where I played at. And, it's just fantastic. We excited.
Yeah, when the news came out yesterday, and obviously it's your son, and we know what this organization means to you, but he is 34, right? So he is his own man. Like what was that communication like in the announcement? And then also when it did come out, just what were some of those emotions you were feeling?
Well, we knew what he wanted to do before it came out. So we had to talk about it last week about 4 times. We just went on down the line, what you wanted to do. And his heart was with Miami. His heart was with Miami. He wanted to come to Miami. And, that's all he was saying. Dad, Miami this, Miami that. He gave all the pros. He gave all the pros and cons to, which teams. And all the pros was with, Miami. And, I said, man, your heart is with Miami. It sounds like you want to go to Miami. It sounds like you want to be a part of what they're doing special down there right now. And you don't want to be like, damn, I should have went there. Now you there, you can contribute, and you happy with your decision. You got to be happy with your decision when you make a decision like this, because you can't go in somewhere else, thinking that, did I make the right decision? Did I make the right choice? Just thinking like that. He thought about it. He made the right decision for him and what he wanted to do and where he wanted to go. And when you make that decision, you can live with it, and you go out there and you play. You play better. You play for something. You have fun playing. I think that's what he saw.
And Tim, I'm not saying do it for some kid out of Wyoming or Kentucky, but you gotta let your namesake wear 10, bro. Like I heard you say you never gonna do it. Let him wear 10, man. That would be so beautiful.
That would be, but I'm not.
Why not?
You love your kids unconditionally. And my legacy is my legacy. And he's doing it his way. Even though he likes to wear 10, he loves to wear 10, but that is not coming down from the rafters. And I can't, that's tough to do. That is tough to do. And when it's up there, you want to stay up there, and you don't want nobody to touch it. And, I love him. I love him to death. I'm happy for him. I'm living a life, again, watching him play, through college and the NBA. He's been to 3 places I'd never been, the Final Four, a championship. And, now he's going to, his hometown team. I never done that. And so I'm happy that he's doing it, but no, he can't wear number 10.
Is there anything he could give you? Like if you had these demands or you wanted something that maybe he's never got you as a gift, is there anything he could do for you to say, yeah, you know what, son, you could have 10?
No.
Did he has he asked you? Has that been a conversation that you've had with him, or he just knows? He just knows.
I'm going to tell you this. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, we was trying to get to Miami, and it never, and they wanted him, but it never happened because of just reasons, trade reasons, and all that type of stuff. But it never happened. But they tried, we tried, and he asked me that. I said, And I said, let me think about it. And I thought about it. And me and my wife was like, no. No, I'm sorry, but I was like, no, we thought about it for 24 hours. And we like, no.
That's cool.
Is it extra special knowing that he's joining a team with loads of potential right now, with Giannis Antetokounmpo coming to Miami, obviously teaming up with Bam Adebayo? I mean, the team's not complete yet, but you would imagine that the situation is going to be great for somebody that's going to help this team with their space and with their three-point threat.
Yes, you're right. He's very happy, and I'm happy. Yes, everything is not done yet. They're still working on a couple more other pieces, and hopefully they get them. But this is going to be something special. The Miami Heat plays the right way. Eric Spoelstra got these guys playing the right way. Pass and cut, look for your shot, be aggressive going to the hole, make the right play, spacing. Everybody gets to touch the ball, just not standing in the corner waiting on the ball so somebody could dribble for 24 seconds. You playing a game of basketball, and that's what he wants to do. He wants to go out there and play the game. He knows how to play the game. He knows how to come off screens. He knows how to pass the ball to the right person at the right time. He knows the game inside and out. He got a great basketball IQ. And that's what people love about him. And if you give him a chance to do some things, he will do it, and you'll be surprised of what he can do. And I've been telling people this all along, what he can do, but they never put him in no predicaments to do it. Last year, he was in some predicaments in Denver, and he done it. That's why they stayed afloat, because, some teams, when you miss your top players, and then you got, some G League guys coming in. Tim was a steady guy that kept the boat afloat and kept them up there in the upper echelon of the Western Conference. And, and it showed in his play, by being almost sixth man of the year. And I thought he should have won it, but, that's just me. But, I like what the Miami Heat does. He likes what they does, and he gonna have the chance to play it and show his other talents out there on the court. So I think this is a great fit for both parties.
Tim Hardaway Sr. here with us. So what's the deal? LeBron coming to Miami? You think there's a chance of that happening, your son playing alongside LeBron?
I think LeBron has a chance to go to Miami, Cleveland, or Golden State Warriors. But I think, with Steph Curry, because Steph Curry needs LeBron, and I think LeBron needs Steph Curry, and that crew. I think that LeBron is sitting back, waiting to see if they could pull this off with Anthony Davis. And, we'll see. But, it's going to be hard because of what they said to Butler. But we'll see. And if they pull it off, I truly think LeBron is going to go to Golden State. But if it doesn't happen, that possibility of him going to Cleveland, I think it would be great too. Because I think he want that fifth one. He want that fifth one. And if you would one of those two teams, I don't know, that money right now is not working with Miami. Something is. I don't know if they give them the $18 million, or I don't know if they can or they can't or whatever, or the $15 million. I don't know if they can or can't. But if he wants to come back, go back to Miami, of course they'll be right there. And one of those three teams, if he goes there, they're going to the championship. No doubt about it.
And Tim, on the court, as you start to get older, you slow down. Father Time's undefeated. What do older players value when they're choosing a team over a younger player? You want to be the one, you want to be the guy, and then you start getting older. What are you looking at as you change teams as an older player?
Looking at what can benefit me and how can I benefit them. Am I going to be able to, get there and we're going to go over the top and make it to the finals and probably win the finals? That's what he's looking at. And Miami with Giannis, Bam, Portis, and Tim and other guys that they have, it could happen. Going to Cleveland, with Harden, Mitchell, and the pieces that they have, they got to trade Mobley or Allen, but, he get there, and even go to Golden State. LeBron lifts your team up. LeBron holds, his presence just on the court in practice, teaching guys, making guys understand what they need to do, being in the gym, taking care of his body, watching him do what he does. It gets contagious. It gets contagious. When LeBron came to Miami, D Wade started doing what LeBron did, working out early or late and keeping his body together. Same way with Chris Bosh. He gets down to L.A. or he gets to Cleveland. All those guys is working out in the morning, because they saw that, we want to win. We want to win. If we do what he does and how he does it and follow his leadership, we can win. And that's what he does. He lifts teams up. He lifts up your confidence. He lifts up the team and make sure that they're accountable and they know what they're doing out there on the court. Go out there and play at their optimal talent. And that's what he brings to the table.
Tim Hardaway Sr., two-part question here. When the Heat acquired Giannis, what was that first reaction? And then moving forward, Giannis with Bam, how do you think that will play on out together?
Well, first of all, when I saw what the Heat was giving up, I said that Milwaukee would be a fool not to take that. Even though Jaylen Brown was a younger player, but they wasn't giving up picks. They and Milwaukee wanted picks. They wanted picks to rebuild their team, to get assets and just get better players. And that's what they wanted. That's what they got. And it was good on both parts that they waited and wasn't hasty and doing it at the trade deadline. Be smart about it. Let's see what other teams gonna offer us. And Miami Heat had the same offer, probably, that they had in at trade deadline. And they said, this is the best we're gonna get, and I think this is the right move for us. And but I kind of had, when I read that, I said, Milwaukee better pull that trigger on that, because that's the best they're going to get. And they did, and I kind of knew that Giannis was going to come to Miami. And I knew that Pat Riley had it figured out and understood exactly what he needed to do, how he needed to do it to get him there. And, I think this is going to work out very, very well.
You mentioned, Pat Riley did what he had to do. There's a lot of speculation in terms of LeBron's next stop that maybe Pat and LeBron just still don't see eye to eye going back to that exit in 2014. I mean, you were around Pat for many years and now still around the organization as well. Do you think that is a factor at play here? Because it seems to me like 12 years is a long time, and both those guys won another ring. LeBron at the end of his career and Pat certainly before he decides to hang it up. Could you see that kind of getting in the way, though, of LeBron ultimately maybe choosing Miami?
I think they repaired it. I'm not for certain. Don't quote me on that. But I think they repaired it, and LeBron or Rich Paul didn't say, no, we're definitely not going to Miami. So it's still in the picture. But we just got to wait and see. This is like Aaron Rodgers right now. Everybody's waiting in the NBA to see what LeBron is going to do. And, but it's different than Aaron Rodgers. LeBron is 41, and what he's doing at 41, being an all-star. Okay. Then, top 10 in the NBA. And everybody thought he looked like he was the third fiddle. Okay. At times, he looked like he was the first one. He's the first guy on the team. This is what I'm going to do. Y'all follow my lead. Him, reverse dunking at 41. Everybody in their 40s, 41, except probably Kareem, he's never played at a high level like LeBron. So what he's doing is remarkable, man. And and how he takes care of his body. His body fat is down. His weight is down. He understands that he got to keep it down for him to be healthy. Yeah, but you still got to, maintain. You still got to watch him. You still got to give him, some rest here and there. But for what he does at 41, playing at the level that he's playing, man, it's remarkable. And he right now, he could play another 2 years, and he's beating Father Time right now. But I mean, at 45, 46, if he want to play then, yeah, it's gonna catch up then. But right now, he's he's playing. I mean, still at all-star, all NBA level.
And Tim, to that question, Solana just said, is it tough to play for Pat Riley? Because everybody, like you're saying, you're hearing that stuff about Pat and the heat wave and all of that stuff. Is it harder to play for Pat Riley and other coaches you played for?
So let's get this straight. Pat Riley is not the coach. Okay, Pat Riley is the president / GM or whatever, but he's not the coach. All right. Eric Spoelstra is the coach. All right. And Eric Spoelstra implements his own stuff the way it should be right now. Back in the 80s and 90s, it was totally different. And Pat Riley understands that. And that's why he let Eric Spoelstra do what he does. Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley and the rest of those guys, they take a look and say, this is what you need, or what do you need, and can this work for you? If Eric says no, then, they look at something else. But, of course, Giannis, come on now. It works for everybody. And so he got him. And that's Pat's job now, is to make sure he puts a team together for Eric Spoelstra to go out there and win a championship. Now, saying that, just like Greg Popovich, at times when he sees stuff not going right, he going to come in and talk, and say what he needs to say. And he going to say it to Spo, and he going to say it to the team. And you adhere to it, and you respond to it. But, yeah, he's not the coach. He's the president. And he's doing a hell of a job putting teams together for Eric Spoelstra to go out there to succeed. And Eric Spoelstra has succeeded.
One last thing for me, Tim Hardaway Sr., just getting back to your son. This is something, like you said, you wanted for a long time. Can you take me to what you may be feeling in October, November, when you see your son play his first game in a Miami Heat uniform?
Yeah. It probably, when I see it, if I see it on TV, it's not going to really resonate until I'm right there in the stand and I see it. Then I might be a little emotional. I might be, might see a tear in my eye. But you're definitely going to see me grinning. And you definitely going to see my chest poked out. And you definitely going to see a little pep in my step when I walk. Because I'm so happy for him, because he wanted this. He wanted this for a long time. And, he's Heat family. No matter what nobody says, he's Heat family. And he's always going to be Heat family. And I appreciate them making an initiative to get him there this year.
I know he won't be wearing the number 10, but will you be getting his jersey? Just wondering, whatever number he picks. I think I saw 11 online or something like that.
And I won't say this. I never wore a New York Knicks jersey. I never wore Atlanta Hawks jersey. Never wore a Dallas Mavericks jersey. Never wore a Denver Nuggets jersey. But you goddamn right. I will have on a Miami Heat jersey with Hardaway Jr. on there.
That's awesome.
Come on, let him wear 10. It'd be so nice. Come on. They already have the jersey ready to go.
You know what he could do? He could wear my jersey to the game.
That would be cool.
Tim,
he could wear one of my jerseys to the game. And matter of fact, I'm going to, my red jersey is at the Hall of Fame. I'm going to tell him to send that back so he can start wearing my red jerseys to the game.
Tim, I went to high school here. I grew up in Dade. The same time your son was playing at Palmetto, so I got to watch him play at Palmetto. When I take you back to those years, could you have imagined this? Like, was this something that ever crossed your mind? I mean, he was obviously an absolute stud in high school, so you figured there was a possibility of him going to the NBA. But did you ever envision he'd be in a Miami Heat jersey when you think back to those years?
Never thought he would be in a Miami Heat jersey. Thinking about those years, I know it was going to be tough. As he was coming out of high school, he had to go into college and prove himself and to show people that he belonged in the NBA. And when he showed me that he belonged in the NBA, I was like, yes, you ready to come out. And that was after his junior year. And I was so happy that he's in the NBA. But, I'm really happy, very, very happy how he has improved each and every year, how he's grown each and every year, and how he's got better and better and better offensively and defensively each and every year. So I'm proud of him for his work ethic and how seriously he takes his game and how he wants to be a really good, great basketball player. So that's what I love about him. And he never stops. He loves to improve. He loves to work on his game. And now I think he's with a team, like I said, everybody on that team from day one is going to work their butt off. They're going to play hard, and everybody's going to make a difference on that team. And that confidence on that team, you're going to see the confidence oozing on that team. But the big thing is staying healthy. The big thing, that's what was wrong with the Heat the last 3 or 4 years. They wasn't healthy going into the playoffs. If they stay healthy going into the playoffs, yeah, they can make a serious, serious run at winning the finals.
And Tim, I do it on the way out quickly. I'm a basketball dad. My daughter plays the 2 guard. She can play. She's a good player. Give me the cheat code, man. How'd you get your son to the NBA?
How'd I get my son to the NBA? I shut up and I let him play and let them ask you questions, and you go from there. I didn't force it on him. I didn't tell him, you playing bad. You need to do this. And when he wanted to ask me a question about it, I tell him about it. I tell him to learn from each and every game that you play, learn from your opponents, learn from your teammates, understand how to make them better. Okay. But go out there and still have the confidence to do what you do, work on your game to get better. But you still got to have the confidence to do what you do and to make shots and to make plays for your team. So that's why I tell parents today, don't get mad, don't get upset, because they still learn. They are still learning, and they have to learn on their own. And if you force it upon them, then they doubly stress because they're hearing it from other people, they're hearing it from the coach, they're hearing it probably from their teammates. You got to let them be, and you always got to be encouraging, and you always got to make them keep their confidence level up. Because once you lose your confidence, Crowder, once you lose your confidence, you're not good for your team.
Yeah.
He's Tim Hardaway Sr. The day after his son, Tim Hardaway Jr., announced that he's signing with the Miami Heat. Tim Hardaway Sr., of course, joins us in the Toyota of Hollywood hotline shop. Over 2,000 Toyotas on sale, one location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, toyotaofhollywood.com. Love to hear the excitement in your voice. Appreciate you giving us some time today.
Let me say this. Everybody, go get my book. It'll tell you the blueprint to how to raise your kid as a sports person. All right, as a sports parent. I have a great book that's out, Crossover from the Streets of Chicago to Basketball Royalty. And I'll be at the Miami Arena at the bookstore sometime before the season start or right before the season start, signing books. So I'm telling you to get the book. My book is a great read. You get it on Amazon. Go to Amazon and get it, and you would love to read it.
You just made a sale, Tim. You got me.
How about if your son sells 100,000 books, he gets to wear the number 10?
Man, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you, man?
He don't listen. He don't listen, Tim.
I see you like my kids at times. You don't listen. I tell them listening is a skill, not an art. It's a skill. Just like basketball or football, it's a skill. You got to work on your skills.
Hey, my dad used to tell me no. I go ask my other parent all the time.
Work on your
Oh,
skills,
wow.
Gilby.
And you know what? My kids used to do the same thing. And my wife be like, no. Tell them no.
Yeah, my
I said,
mom would
okay.
say
I
yes.
said, no.
Ridiculous.
Tim, congratulations. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all and see y'all very soon.
There you go. Tim Hardaway Sr., his number 10 is retired. It ain't coming down, not even for his own son.
You were after it, Gil, though. You were after it.
I was trying to get him to crack one way or another. It's Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. We're coming on back. Antoine Walker going to stop by at 525.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Woke up this morning, got me some gabagool. Then I woke up the next day and got some gabagool.
Here's a
All righty, welcome back in. It's Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelb for Hawk. Antoine Walker, you'll hear from him coming up at 5:25 on the LeBron James rumors. Giannis Antetokounmpo getting traded to the Miami Heat, and oh, so much more. I know we got to get to headlines, but just one thing in the aftermath of the Tim Hardaway Sr. interview. I kind of respect him for it just being a hard no all throughout with his son wearing his jersey uniform. And I kind of think he does that to like motivate his son even more. Like, okay, you just had a great career year. You now are on my team. You want to wear my number. And I don't know if his son wanted to wear his number or not, but he's been so clear that he's not. I think it's one of those things where dad just keeps on motivated and motivated, not making son feel accomplished.
No, I love it because he explained it. He said, I've done what I do. He said, Junior went to the Final Four, won a championship. He was naming off his accolades. He's done things that I haven't done. But I have a jersey up, and my jersey's staying up there, just like you have a ring, and I don't have a ring. I respect it as an athlete and as a father.
Could you imagine if LeBron was like, hey, I'm only coming to the Heat if I wear number 10? Then what would you do, Tim? You still be Timmy Tough Nuts?
It would be so disrespectful of LeBron. I don't think it could happen. I think LeBron respects the game too much.
No, I mean, the Heat already forced his hand once, Gelb. LeBron changed to number 6 in Miami when he came here because Pat Riley, which is a very controversial topic in Miami, retired Jordan's number 23 for the organization. Even though Jordan never played in Miami, it hangs. It's not in the rafters per se, but it's like up in the Kaseya Center all the way up top. He already forced LeBron to change his number
offense. No offense to Tim. And he was great with us. Michael Jordan, Tim Hardaway.
Don't you disrespect my Tim.
Surprised Solana just didn't call him Timmy all throughout the interview.
Don't you disrespect my Timmy.
Timmy, Rio, Timmy, Rio.
I saw it online and I saw, the talks about it. But then when Tim explained it, I was like, yes.
Yeah, it wasn't good enough for me.
Oh, man. You've done this. I've done this. You have a ring. I don't have a ring, but I have a jersey retired. And you can't have a jersey retired. You know what? I like it. I like it.
Seems like an egomaniac that Tim Hardaway Sr. has me. All righty, let's get to headlines with Solana. Go ahead.
They're brought to you by Doral Volkswagen, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit us at Doral Volkswagen or DoralVolkswagen.com. We do have some news pertaining to LeBron James and his decision. According to Mark Stein, the San Antonio Spurs are no longer pursuing LeBron James following their signing of Tobias Harris. So if we're, under the impression that several people have said everything's on the table for LeBron, you can strike off the Lakers. Obviously, he's not going back there. He already let them know. And if you believe this report from Mark Stein, very reputable reporter, the Spurs are no longer an option either.
And once in the aftermath of the Tobias Harris deal, there's only just so many dollars that you have. The other thing that I will say, I think the best point you made today, Solana, was he's waiting. I think he has an idea of what he wants to do, but can someone ooh and ah LeBron with another move that makes him go, okay, if I was thinking Golden State, Cleveland, or Miami, no, that team did something else. Okay, I'll go take the vet minimum to go there.
Yeah, like the Porzingis to Golden State. That was upgrading the living room. They refurbished the living room with him, and so they have to. Like I said earlier, there's teams that have to build the prettiest house to woo LeBron and to come living there for a year.
Yeah, like Minnesota. I don't know if LeBron really wants to go there for a year. So,
we for sure got the best city.
Cold like Minnesota. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. What is it? Cleveland, Minnesota, Miami? Come on now. Miami
Bay Area.
By far. Yeah. Golden State's not bad. Bay Area is pretty cool.
It would be fun. Him and Steph Curry. I don't care if it's the AARP squad. I don't care if they can or can't win a title. Like, take that out of it for a second. It would be fun. LeBron James and Steph Curry teaming up with each other. Like you heard what Tim Hardaway said there. It would be awesome.
The Golden Boys.
I got to question his loyalties, though, Hardaway. Played for Golden State, played for the Heat. Seemed like he wanted LeBron and Golden State more than Miami with this kid. Could have been minutes issue for his son. Just saying. Just saying.
Did Golden State retire his jersey? I don't think so.
Tim Hardaway, yeah, I believe his number's retired in Golden State.
Really?
Damn, that was my go-to.
I'd have to double check it, but I believe that it is. Bro, those teams were like legit good, man.
I was a kid. I remember those teams.
They have not retired his number.
They have not.
Yeah.
What was it? Run TMC? Is that what it was called? Run TMC?
That's literally what comes up when I Google, have the Warriors retired Tim Hardaway's jersey? It says Golden State have not retired Tim Hardaway Sr.'s jersey. The only members of the famous Run TMC trio to have his number 17 retired by the Warriors is Chris Mullin.
That's crazy. They didn't retire Mitch Richmond's number? Crazy. All right. Let me give you a list of players that are still available for the Miami Heat to potentially acquire here as we round out headlines. I'm just reading in the Miami Herald. Barry Jackson and Anthony Chang have a solid list going of players that have already signed, who's off the board, and then here they write who's left in free agency. I'm just going to read you some players. So they write power rotation players. Larry Nance Jr., Marvin Bagley, Kevin Love, Andre Drummond, Bismack Biyombo, Kelly Olynyk, Maxi Kleba. Wing players. This is what we need, right? Shooting. Bradley Beal.
Mm-hmm.
Hawk.
Come on, Brad.
Hawk. Talk about it, Hawk.
Anthony Simons. And they write, wants more money than Heat has to offer, but still an option if the market doesn't produce a better deal for him. Gary Trent Jr., Nicholas Batum, Matisse Thybulle, Seth Curry, the other Curry, Doug McDermott, Gabe Vincent, Chris Middleton, Cam Thomas, Bruce Brown, Jordan Clarkson, Josh Okogie, Jamal Cain. And then they also have veteran point guards, Aaron Holiday, Russell Westbrook, Cam Payne, Tyus Jones, Garrett Temple, and Gary Payton II, which just if you add Tim Hardaway, go add another former heel, his son, Gary Payton II. But there you go. That's the list of players that and there's more, by the way. I didn't read everything, but I
don't think we mentioned this today, and we should. And this probably breaks the heart of some. Chris Haynes said, contrary to speculation, the Pistons will not be waiving Duncan Robinson. So no, maybe Gabe Vincent's coming home. Maybe LeBron's coming home. Duncan Robinson is not coming home.
As you were reading, I wrote down Gabe Vincent and Anthony Simons. Those are the ones that got me excited when you were reading that list.
And the question now, which is what we talked about with Clay Ferrero, do the Miami Heat wait for LeBron's decision? It's a risk because if Anthony Simons, let's just say, did have interest and would be willing to take a little bit less, you potentially miss out on LeBron James for making that move now, the opportunity for LeBron. It's one of those things where, like, the Heat have to have a better idea than any of us do, obviously, of the opportunity at hand here with LeBron. Like, how much are they actually in play for him? And if they are, my guess is you wait it out. But if they feel like it's a long shot, then you probably just go and fill out your roster and you move forward.
But it's two storylines that we know LeBron loves attention. We know he loves to be the center of attention, but also you said earlier, he's very strategic. So he has to understand if I want to, like, I have to sign before they can go fill out this roster for me to play with. So it's a double-edged sword there.
LeBron making his decision to let the Lakers know hours before the negotiating window opened was not by happenstance. Like, that was him saying, hey, teams around the league, Cleveland, Miami, Golden State, I'm giving you this week to figure it out. Wow.
And that could be where the Heat have a leg up because they already made their big move, and now they've made a minor move in Tim Hardaway Sr., and they brought back Wiggins where it allows them to be in a good spot with or without LeBron.
Yeah. Make a decision.
Hey, Dwayne Wade, got anything left in the tank?
How about he starts recruiting Dwayne Wade? You know, he called up the Heat last year for their play at times. How about he starts recruiting LeBron?
Gilby, I think he owns another NBA team.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Disloyal. Take his jersey down. Tim Hardaway Jr. number 3. Wade County no more.
Conflict of interest, I believe that's called.
There's a ton of Florida Panthers news. We've discussed it, but the big one, Sergei Bobrovsky, is headed to Toronto, and the Marlins do play tonight, 8:40 on this radio station against the Colorado Rockies. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repairs, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com. It's pouring in parts of South Florida. It's in the mid-80s. That's your weather.
By the way, Danny Ainge would probably give up would make the Heat give up 6 first-round picks in order for Dwayne Wade to just recruit LeBron back to Miami, right? Because that guy just let me have all the picks. That's all he does. And I know Solana loves the shot at Danny Ainge right there, but he doesn't want to give me the satisfaction of it.
I love it. I do love it.
All righty.
Enjoy the draft.
It is Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelbin for Hawk. You'll hear from Antoine Walker next on his thoughts about LeBron James and also Giannis Antetokounmpo.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Any sandwich oblong is going to be better than a circular sandwich. That's just fact.